Welcome back to Soul and Swords. This is session number 9, entitled Moon's Eclipse. Last session, some choices were made, efforts were had to ensure the safety of one of the members of the group in defense against one of the dark Esper edges. Failure, in the eyes of many, was had. But redemption is something that the person who committed that failure was the victim of that failure, is something that he believes is possible. Despite that, the more important part of what happened last session, despite what happened with everyone in the group, was a very tragic event, a very horrible event, the gravity of which the group may not even understand as of yet. So to help explain that and help work through the story and narrative, to help you understand a bit more about what you really are tethered to, I trace back to about 500 years ago, north of the city of Stormloft, high up in the barrier peaks, in a foggy outcropping surrounded by higher peaks known as the Tower of Mist. 4 adventurers walked into that small town surrounding this very large fortification, the acolytes of which welcomed these 4 adventurers in as guests of the King of Stormloft, King Eversol. Upon entering, the package they were sent to deliver detonated with spellfire, destroyed the town, and killed everyone except one person, a young girl. A young girl who was left in the ruin of what she was being trained to become, a powerful mage, tied, connected to an entity, a powerful magical entity known as an Esper. She was the last of her kind in her training, the foremost wizard in that art. At that time, she didn't see much of a point carrying on. But to the 3, as one disappeared, an individual named Seth Highwind, the captain of the Golden Eagles of House Eversol, disappeared in the destruction, leaving the 3 other adventurers to deal with the aftermath. The acolyte, named Rodden Fear, gave 3 items to these adventurers: a dagger made out of glass, known as the Sword, a shield, known as the Warden, and an axe, known as Fury, a gift from the dwarves to the mages up in the Tower of Mist. Those 3 adventurers continued on their path, and the stories therein were lost to mystery. But the visions of that falling of the Tower of Mist come to you. You see it. You understand the fear that's present inside of her, and the reason why vanity could build so strongly in such a person. She's the last of her kind. She's the only one who knows this secret art, this secret magic, to bind a mortal to a soul, pure, arcane, ethereal thing. And then you watch as that soul tethered to someone else, someone who in the last moments of their nigh immortal life seems to make the wrong choices, the same wrong choices that she had gone through her entire life. And she gives her last effort to keep him alive. You witness this all happen through your own very, very tired sleep, Brock. You witness it from the past, moving on to the future, all the way up to the current, where Gilbert loses Rodden, his Esper, and the wielder of the Rime Witch sword. Rodden's razor kills her wielder, creating a new and different balance. When you awaken at Balin's watch, Roxgar's snoring very loudly, but the nature of the dreaming kept you unconscious long enough to have those visions. You also see that standing near your bed, looking at you with her arms crossed, is your Esper, Sayer Piatba. She says to you, "You did your best. So did I. And just like me, you failed."
So, that dream there, Sword Lady brother, was real?
All of it. From the beginning to the end.
And the little blue brother.
She gestures to the sword, and when you look to it, you can see kind of the small tracings of the connections, one kind of leading over to Broxgar, and they're all kind of a nice kind of bluish color. And you see one of the threads is red.
So, what does this mean for you? And for us next?
For me, it means nothing. I came into this vessel by happen chance. I was created perfect to be placed into such a vessel. To be a weapon. I don't think your friend, your blue brother, has the same strength or the same intent. At this point, he needs as much help as he can get. But now, both sides have lost a very powerful weapon, a very powerful connection, because of this shift, this imbalance.
And what do you think's gonna help the little blue brother?
I don't know. I know that the reason why I was able to come into this place was by focusing on selfless act, an intent to not become what I was made to be. This was my nature. But I also selflessly acted with no concern for what was mine and what I truly wanted. I overcame my sin. I don't think you have the same problem that he does. When you took up the weapon, you weren't plagued with what plagued me. You weren't plagued with what plagued the person who was in the sword before me. By chance, Gilbert received the one weapon that sang to him.
So, should we take the weapon from him?
The Esper's bound to him, just as I am bound to you. You haven't fully understood that connection yet, but I'm sure in time we will foster more keenly. For now, I do not know what direction you should go in All I can tell you is this. No, you should not take the weapon, unless you feel you have to. But understand this, and everything that you do from this moment forward is a test. A test you can't retake. If you take the wrong action, you'll suffer for it.
Do the others know about this?
The only one that knew was the one that wielded the shard. The only one that truly knew everything concerning it. He died. And it seems he's usurped Cardiff from his position in the shard. Choir is charged.
Well, thank you. I think I need to share this information with my dwarf brother here.
Do as you must. And she fades away.
What time is it?
It's morning.
It's like not crazy for me to try and wake him up.
How loud is Broskar snoring?
Pretty loud.
Yeah, last night he was the commander of armies fighting back against ninja assassins. I mean, he had a pretty rough night.
Yeah, I can let him sleep.
Okay. Meanwhile, the sleeping isn't really too deep for the two of you at Ren's office. The dust still sits lingering on everything that you haven't dusted off. And I'm assuming you're talking for a bit of the evening concerning the matters at hand.
Sure. I think that's our cue, Tim. I can't hear you.
Ren, I have a wish. As in the magical kind. I was afraid to use it, but I think the time may have come to sort out what must be done. And how to word it.
What do
Try
you...
and... Go ahead.
I was gonna ask, what must be done?
Something to help Gilbert to... Something to take back what was lost tonight. I don't know. I don't claim to have the right answer, but I would like to get us together to determine what course of action we might take with it.
Tell me this. Do you think what Gilbert did was foolishness or evil?
I was not there when Gilbert made his choice. I can only say of those two options, it was more foolish. I think he gets overwhelmed and has trouble but seeing what comes easiest to him. I can only imagine if he had one of us by his side, and for that, I'm probably partly to blame for not trying to get there sooner to help him in his time of need.
I hope you're right, because then there's a chance to save him.
A voice kind of echoes inside of the room. It's easier to think only of yourself when you're all alone. And Byako's spirit appears near Ren.
You mean Gilbert's alone now?
Well, he was alone when he made the choice. You speak wisely, Valette.
How do you intend to do this thing?
I pull out the ring. I'm like,
You feel an
Well-
immediate kind of hand grasp onto your shoulder, and you know it's Hawk. And his voice comes up from behind you. Understand. What you do for someone else. You do not do for any goal of your own. Remember your folly. Understand it deeply as you look into that stone. Do you understand?
yes, and I would not I would not use this power lightly. I do not even wish to use it right in this moment, but only after counsel with the rest of us to discuss how we might save Gil.
Subeta raises his hand like this and kind of wags his finger. When you say the rest of us, do you mean all of them? Or do you mean to exclude him? Cutscene from you, go to Sam. Sam,
Yo.
you have been doing some gangster shit. Do you want to...
Because I live a thug life.
So it comes to morning time. Gressel kind of looks to you, tosses the notes that you've kind of gone over together, and then reaches down to where the core of the field is and etches their name out, leaving it open to you, and says to you, normally this would be where someone says goodbye or says, I can't wait to see you again, or some other bullshit words of commonplace lies. I've taught you a bit about the nature of illusion magic. I come to you in saying, I don't fucking care what happens to you and yours, but I hope that you have a great time. And starts walking towards the door.
Yeah, same to you, bud. See you later. Fucking
Okay.
twat.
Gressel exits out the door, leaving you a pretty nice hideout. Takes the time to change the field to yours. So once you have control of the field, you'll note that the active effects for the field are, I think it's projected image for the door. So basically, you can make it appear as you want it to. And then the hall that you're in, not something you've detected before, but silence is basically cast on all of the walls on the exterior. I think silence is an illusion spell. Pretty sure.
You know, I'm not actually sure. If I'm correct, that's not even a wizard spell.
Yeah,
But
Gressel's
I can
pretty cool.
check.
It's illusion.
Cool.
It's available to clerics too.
As I said, I'm pretty sure it was illusion.
Yeah, I don't think it's it is
Bard, cleric,
not
and ranger.
it is not normally available to wizards, but Gressel is not one of those.
He could have. Well, he could have also had a scroll, so you know.
Yeah, they could have. But yeah, no, probably not the case. But anyways, you don't learn the backstory of the field, just what it does. So yeah, projected image pretty much on all of the doors to make it look like however you want it to. And those are all basically just static permanent effects. No activatables and
Right.
Yeah, none of that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I basically want to keep it looking the same
Okay.
as it was. Why, change something?
Yep. And yeah, you can add to the field at your leisure, just following the time allotments. Is there anything that you want to do during the day? The sun is up at this point.
Yeah, I'm just going to give. Well, I have an idea where Brox and them are. I don't really want to call Valette. So you know what? I'm going to call. Does Brox and or Vrak have a communicator on them?
Brox does.
All right, I'm ringing up Brox.
Brack, you're looking down at Brox, kind of thinking whether or not you're supposed to wake him up, and then you hear a noise coming from his pack. Broxgar, do you wake up or do you just let it go?
I was just
Let's
like,
go to voicemail.
Oh my god, it's getting too much like real life now.
a little bit of a response.
Fucking phone. Do you pick it up, Brack, or do you let
Yeah, I'll pick it up. If he doesn't pick it up after a couple of buzzes.
it? Okay.
Right, so where are you fuckers?
He's still sleeping there, wizard brother.
That doesn't answer my question. That just tells me what he's doing. Where are you right now?
We're at the watch.
Okay, do you know where anyone else is?
Broxgar's here with me there, brother.
I meant the other person, that people that are obviously not there, since I called Brox's communicator.
Nope.
Right. Good. We should probably meet up and find where they are.
Doesn't Valette have a communicator?
Yeah. But he's also with the conglomerate, so I'm not going to call him. I will, however, do what I was going to do and suggest to Vrock to give Valette a call.
Yeah, I suppose I can give the robot lady a call.
And I'm going to head over...
Where are we supposed to be meeting up there, the wizard brother?
Does either Brox or Vrack know where Grisel's place is?
Brox does. Brock's been there.
Alright.
I believe. Right?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alright.
Or we have.
When Brox gets up, tell him to just go to Grisel's. He'll know where it is.
Aye, Captain.
Right. Got things to do now.
Okay. Anything
I
in
just
particular?
turned it. Yeah, I'm also going to give Winston and or Peter a call and just check in to see what's going on.
They Peter will pick up and say, "Hey, boss. Currently in waiting room. The Red Dragon Inn. We're getting ready to talk to Hadrian on your behalf.
Right.
We're gonna re-establish boundaries, temporary discussions, as the Night Sharks are still in our place in Old Rostigar. And we're just gonna negotiate, and I'll give you the offers, and you can say yes or no and finalize it. That's what we're currently doing. What are you up to, boss?
So, I've got a new place,
Oh,
you
yeah?
know, in Old Rostigar. So, not sure with the new, well, you know, conglomerate in town if we might not want to try to stretch our wings a little bit
Well,
this
yeah.
direction.
From what I gathered, Chief, what we've been thinking, me and Winston over here, we got word that the Gentleman's Society is out. They're not even gonna stick around, and word on the street is the Kengo are moving back across the bridge, based on negotiations that you had. Some of our folks have been telling us what's up. And so the plan I've got in my head and what I'm going to try and negotiate for, and it's entirely up to you if it's okay, but we take Old Rostigar, except for the bit around Kurgosler's house, that bit near the H, and just give that whole block over there to them. That way the Night Sharks have a nice bit of land, and between our territories, which will potentially conjoin, depending on if the Mardigans reestablish or not.
Yeah, I don't know if they're going to. I'm also wondering with the green blades and the red knives if we might be willing to come to some understanding, but that's for another time.
Sure. Yeah, and I think the leader of the Bookworms is going to be at this meeting. Whoever they are, they haven't arrived yet, but from what I understand, it's going to be Hadrian, bookworms, fellow named Dargor Bloodblade, and basically I was just pulled over this way because no one could find you.
Yeah, well, I'm a hard man to reach unless you just call my communicator.
Yeah, I tried to, couldn't get hold of you. Make a
Good to know.
make an Arcana check real quick.
Even if I have an idea of what's going on already.
Yeah, silence is blocking the call.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I was figuring.
Yeah, you got it. Silence is blocking the call because you're the one making it out. Your will is basically dropping the field
Right.
now.
So that's good to know for the future. All right, well, I'll keep that in mind.
Yeah, no problem, boss. Do you want me to hold off? You want to try and delay the meeting, or just go in? Winston could probably handle it, but if you want to deal,
No, I trust you to handle it.
all right.
If need be, you can hopefully in a little while get a hold of me.
Sounds good. Yeah, and if you need me, call me. You know where we're at, and I'll try to pick up if I can. I don't know how long
Right.
I'll be waiting.
No matter where you are, no matter how far.
All right. He ends the call. Okay, cut back to Brox and Brack. Brox, you're up now.
Yeah.
Brack, I assume, tells you about what's up. But I need more detail than that, obviously, so...
Oh yeah,
So-
I'm gonna literally, as soon as he gets up, tell him everything that just happened, from what Sayer said through to
The vision,
yeah.
all
So-
of it.
So Gilbert's given in to his vanity. That's troubling.
And Sam wants to meet up with us.
We better go find out what's going on.
Gotta contact the robot lady, brother, too.
Oh, of course.
So-
I'll dial Bullet and hand it back to Brock.
Ren and Valette, you kind of had your evening time. I did leave it on a bit of a cliffhanger. Was there anything you wanted to address before we move to daylight time? You guys figuring out what you're doing for the day?
No, I just wanted to make sure that that conversation with Biako and Hawk and all that, that was something that Ren and
Yeah,
Valette heard.
they're speaking out loud.
Ren would just basically say, I think that you need to make sure if you use the wish, you use it with a pure heart.
That is what I am striving to do right now. I must choose my words carefully in case this thing works off of just skin contact. But I hope
No, it has to
that...
be. It has to be activated.
Okay. I hope that we...
Man, I sure wish I had a cup of tea. Falls off.
I wish that Gilbert was here so I could kick his skinny blue ass.
Shoot, I forgot
I
what
wish
was
I didn't
gonna
have to deal with this wish anymore.
Oh, no.
Is that like divided by zero? That's like everything. The existence stops.
basically something along the lines of hoping to help Gilbert get redemption.
Ring ring.
Hello?
Hey there, robot lady, brother. The wizard man wants us to meet up with him. You with the blue, baby blue, or crazy eyes?
Gilbert, I think, is something we might want to discuss. Sadly, it seems he has succumbed to his sin of vanity, and Radin is gone, and now he is using the Esper Edge of the Rime Witch.
Yep. Got it. What about crazy eyes? You with him?
Yes.
Alright.
Where do you want to? Where are we supposed to meet up?
at the place Broxgar knows. Where's that?
Insert place here, obviously.
Kilgore's hammer is an option. It's probably somewhere in between the two of you.
Matt said Grizel's hideout.
Oh, Grisel's hideout. That's right. Okay, sorry. I thought you were looking for a place. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know specifically where that is, but I do in character. So if there,
Has Vlad ever been there with the group?
Ren has.
Ren, do you know where Grizel's is?
I do. I was there with when we walked with Sam's men.
All right, we'll meet you there.
Okay, as you lot are all heading towards the Phantom House, Lord Kurgosler, you awake, refreshed. It seems that your house has taken on a slightly different look to it, a bit more of a regal look. You can see that your stone bowl, which you had just put in not too long ago, now has gilding along the outside of it. It's nice and shiny. The water appears to be crystal clear, and inside you can see the etchings of gold patterning and a white pearlescent disc at the bottom of the bowl. The Rhyme Witch is not present, but sitting not too far away from you on a side table near your bed is Rodden's razor.
Ron's razor is there, but the Rhyme Witch is not.
Correct.
I'd say, hello.
The sword is Rodden's razor, just sitting on the table.
Oh, this the sword. Okay, I thought you meant like Ron was there, but yeah, Ron's razor is that sword.
Right.
All right, cool. I'm with you. All right, I got a lot I want to do today. So, obviously, scrying's a good thing to do. But what I want to do first is I noticed something. This is why we should read our character sheets. I have a sending stone from Rassicant that he gave us like I don't know how many episodes ago, but it's on my character sheet. So
Yeah.
I'd like to grab that baby and send him a message.
Okay. So you activate the stone, and as you do so, you see it break in the middle and fall to the ground with kind of like a splintering sound as it hits the ground.
Son of a bitch. All right, that's no longer useful, but I can cast Sending.
Okay.
So, 25 words or less. Apparently, that they know who it is when I call. So I would say I'd use cast Sending and say, I survived the attack by the Kango gang leader Fayako Oremu. Right?
Oh.
I say it the right way. And then I say, Conglomerate seems to think I have done something wrong, but I'm still loyal to the king. And that's about 25 words. Maybe plus or minus a word or two, but... So that's the message I'd send him. Does he reply to that?
But I'm still loyal to the.
Yeah.
You feel
exactly.
you feel like the message has gone through, and then you hear a reply, but strangely it's not Rassicant's voice, and the voice says, "The Grey Order will have nothing to do with mortals. Do not communicate with this individual again."
Oh shit. Interesting. I got some interesting news to tell the gang. Okay.
If you find us.
If I find you guys. Okay, I don't really want to. This is a question for like me as a noble. I think I would know. Is it rude to like do a sending to the king? I would think it would be.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. That's cool. I won't do it to the king then.
I'll do it to the next person in line.
Yeah. Who's
The
another
queen.
person?
You would also know that if he's in the throne room, it's probably blocked.
Right. Okay, I'm gonna have to do this the old-fashioned way. I'm gonna have to write a note and send it with a messenger.
Okay. You have plenty of messengers. When you get up and out of bed and start kind of moving about, you notice that the Barbagese Royal Guard are in elite fashion, basically patrolling the house, acting very much in kind with what you recall back at the Barbagese Principality's keep in Stormloft, back when you were younger. And they're moving about the house in a very orderly and very efficient fashion, as are your soldiers of the foot. It looks like all of your archers apparently are no longer present, though.
They might have been killed by assassins or something.
Make a wisdom perception check.
Wisdom, perception. All right, let's do this. $16.
You also notice that the tailor's missing.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
What
Do you-
about the gnomish ambassador?
He's still around.
He's still around. All right. Interesting. I want to inquire as to where, these missing people are.
They all the person you asked this kind of cocks his head to the side. You had them dismissed earlier this morning. We didn't ask why.
I did.
Aye. You were doing a bit of work. You were doing a bit of work around the house and demanding certain things go into effect. Were we speaking to someone other than you, my lord?
Yeah, this is concerning.
You hear-
let me know what
you
else
hear-
I said.
You hear a whisper in the back of your head. I did it.
Oh, okay. Could you allow me? I'm going to say this in my head. I'm going to be like, I would like to make the decisions on my household from now on, unless I say otherwise.
You were sleeping. You couldn't have protected yourself while you were asleep. Did you not want
Good
protection?
point.
If you
Well-
want, I can leave you to the mercies of the elements next time.
No, I do not want that. Actually, I do have some questions for you. Now that we're talking, first off, yeah, don't do that again. I'd like to be in control of things.
Okay,
But
I'd like to pause for a second
Yeah.
and just picture the guy just standing there waiting for a response from Gilbert while Gilbert's just staring into space, having this conversation in his head.
Oh,
Yeah.
it'll be even worse. I'd actually just walk off and kind of, those people take orders, so I'd just walk off and talk to her in my head, and I'd be like, all right. A friend of mine, I don't know if you know Sam, but you've run into him before.
I know of Sam.
He seemed to think that there was something very bad happening in a few days. Do you know about that, and what do you know about that?
I do not.
What I'm wondering is, well, I do know some interesting things are happening soon. Number one, the Bloody Duchess is coming to the city. She'll be here, tomorrow?
This should not concern us. You shouldn't think about her.
Well, you never know, but I just think she's kind of a loose cannon, so.
She's not.
I'm just
important.
saying.
She's not important.
Okay.
Now that you have me,
Well, that is true. I do have another thing I'm kind of concerned about. Are the other Espers coming to Rastigar anytime soon? Like, the evil ones.
I don't know.
Yeah. You don't know? Don't you have to find
Again,
them?
they're not important now that you have me.
Well, I'm worried about my own safety.
You'll be
Put it that
safe
way.
as long as you have me.
Well, all right. This is what I'm concerned about. I believe you have to be on one side or the other. And either you're on the side of that group of Espers or you're on the side with the other group of Espers.
It's strange. That's not the sentiment that you pushed during your engagement with Biako Urumi yesterday. I felt like you were different, Gilbert. Are you another one who's pushing for fighting and conflict?
Well, not necessarily, but I'm just trying to protect myself.
I thought you were different. I was wrong.
I am different.
You hear the voice just go silent.
All right, fine. Then I do also want to I want to call up. I'm gonna think. Maybe I don't want to do that. I don't know what to say. All right, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna call up Brogscar.
Okay. Roll a d100.
Everyone wants to talk to Broxgar.
He's like the neutral guy to call.
I think it's like,
D100.
is he already at the place or not?
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
we'll
that's what the
find out.
D100s for. Or if he's on the phone and is busy.
51.
Okay, ring ring, Breck. If you're still holding the phone, or Brox, if you've taken it back, you get a call just about as you guys are getting ready to enter into the Talna Marie Academy to recover your bike.
I gift the sending stone to Vrac. This is a present to you.
No,
Keep-
this is the phone call.
No,
This is
okay,
on the
sorry.
communicator.
Yeah.
I have the sending stone that I talked to Villette on.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you have the communicator. I'm not a phone guy. Don't give me the tech thing. I'll break it with my big hands.
I like how Vrac used the phone though to call Valette.
Brox did that.
Okay. So I get a phone call from Gilbert.
Yeah.
Yeah, I say, hello, Brox. It's Gilbert.
What's
And,
up, little bud?
well, I just wanted to know, I wanted to let you know that Valette and Ren came to see me, and they wanted me to sell to the conglomerate, which of course I'm not going to do. But I wanted to let you know, I don't know what they're making me out to be, but I'm still the same person. I just got into a battle. I ended up defeating the leader of the Kango, Byaku Uramu, and then it ended up that I ended up with her. This key point is I ended up with her Esper, but it obeys me now, so I think we're good.
Well, you're playing a very dangerous game, Gilbert. I know you. I know your heart. I would even call you a friend. And I know you're not a bad person, so we're gonna try to figure out a way to get you out of this mess if you become mixed up in.
All right,
This doesn't sound good.
I'm not surrendering to the conglomerate, though. Just telling you that. Find a different way.
Yeah, I understand. But you're safe. You're good.
Yeah, I'm good. Everything's good. I'm getting I'm fortifying my place again. You know, in case we're attacked. Everything's
All
good.
right. Well, I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah, actually, tell Valette those guys are welcome back here. I got mad and told them not to come back, but you know, I think we have to stick together.
I agree. If I see them today, I'll let them know. I'll be in touch.
All right, thanks.
Take it easy, Gilbert.
You make it to the bike, and you ride out to Gursel's house. Ren and Valet, I can't say words today. How are you going to make your way to Old Rostigar? Via Skyrail, or trolley, or walking, or pony?
What you thinking, Ren?
Oh, I don't care. Whatever makes sense. I'm sorry, I'm in the middle of DMing John something.
Oh.
Do you want to spend money or do you want to go for free?
Let's go for free so we can just have a long walk.
All right, we ride the pony.
Okay. Is there anything that you're going to be doing along the way? Is that the private message you're trying to send me?
No.
Unrelated? Okay. Is there anything that you want to do?
Well, it is something I want to do on the way. Hold on.
Okay. I guess I'll move then to Gilbert. Are you just or is there anything else that you want to engage in? Well, Stall City.
Yeah, I would like to just fortify my house more. I know there was a part of a wall broken out, so I want to make sure that it gets repaired,
Sure.
either magically or with actual people fixing it.
Yeah, you'll note that it's no longer broken. It's been fixed.
Can it be turned into? I'm going to say this to actually. I'm going to say this to the Rhyme Witch. I'm going to say, can you make this into like a frozen fortress? You know, kind of remind me of home.
No.
Not too bad.
If I had my body, I probably could, but I don't. I made a duplicate of you to ensure certain activities were engaged in, and I fixed the floor in the library that my former wielder threw you through. I fixed the wall, and I fixed the outside. I did what I could very early on, and I let go some of your associates. I figured you wouldn't mind.
Well, you know, they've been with me for a while, and I knew them back when Wellenbart
Oh.
was the Lord.
So you would want them instead of me?
No, don't. Let's not like get crazy here. All I'm saying is, I want to be involved in the personnel changes.
Oh. I see. So you don't
Actually,
try.
what sort of like capabilities do you have? You know, as an Esper. Like, what sort of
You're giving
capability?
me mixed messages here, Gilbert. First, you want me to be subservient to you, and then you want me to tell you about myself. Which is it? I don't understand, and I don't want to talk any longer. I'm going back. She reverts back to being in the blade. Brack and Broxgar, you make it to Grisel's house before Ren and Villette, because Bike. When you arrive, Sam, what were you doing in the meantime, waiting for them? Muted.
So I've been in this place before, but I haven't really like explored it thoroughly, I feel like. So I was just planning on like taking some time to actually see if there was anything else here besides, you know, what I already know.
Sure. Front hall, the door in the back that looked like it leads to right outside and kind of creates the loop of sending you back and around. That's an illusory effect. So when you start walking towards the door, you think that you're exiting out the other end, but what in turn is you are actually turning around and walking back that way. The illusion is kind of forcing you to think you're entering the place back through the other side. Beyond that connection is what appears to be like a small kind of series of hotel rooms. And you noted that on the exterior of this building, the triangle-shaped building, it appeared to be some sort of kind of hotel. And it looks like this is where the gentleman of the Gentleman's Society once stayed. Searching around a bit, you don't find a designated like lead room, but you presume that Grisel probably just plopped wherever they wanted to, because they kind of could just create perfectly comfortable bed anywhere.
Gotcha.
There's no real door to knock on if you don't drop the projected image covering the door.
It's fair. Hold on 1 second. I just want to check one thing really quickly. Alright, yeah, I'd probably drop the illusion for right now for those guys coming.
Okay. And continue you kind of just browsing.
Yep.
Okay. So Broxgar and Brack, you make it to the house, but unlike last time, there doesn't appear to be an illusory wall where a door would be. There instead appears to be a door on the corner end. And if you enter in, you enter that same room that you were in before, just minus all of the cool trinkets. And the back door is also open.
Hello, Sam.
So
What?
We're here.
Fine,
Yeah.
get in and shut the door.
We get in
Lisa.
and shut the door.
okay.
Have Villette and Ren arrived yet?
No, I suppose they haven't.
So, is this your place?
Seems to be. I'd invite you to have a seat, but are there actually chairs in here? I don't know.
So you would know that the there are no seats yet.
Right, that's what I was thinking.
There were some
What?
chairs back in the lounges back there if you want to bring them back in, or in the hotel rooms.
Actually,
What?
you know what? That would be something. If I was coming back out front, I probably would have created a Tensor's floating disc, and there might be just chairs behind me.
Okay.
Right, take a seat.
No, wait, hold on. Make me a dexterity arcana check.
A dexterity arcana check?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is going to say acrobatics, but...
That's fine. So you guys are in there and you hear Sam coming that way. As he approaches, you see a perfectly stacked block of chairs, whatever number you want them to be, but stacked in such a way that it appears that like someone straight Tetrised it. Like every chair is perfectly like connected and slotted in its position, so that he's holding like dozens of chairs on one flat disc.
Right, so grab a chair.
I do so, and while I do, I ask you what happened to all the artifacts.
And why didn't you just move the chairs one at a time?
Look, I have important things to do. I say in an empty room by myself.
Noted.
Seems like it'd take the same amount of time to stack them that it would to move them one at a time.
Listen, you
No
wouldn't understand. It's wizardly things.
Shakes his head as he grabs a chair.
So wait, what was Brox's question a second ago?
What happened to all the artifacts from the entry, the lobby?
Oh, I don't know.
Fair enough.
Imagine Griselle took some stuff with him. So, anyway.
We got a call from Gilbert on our way over. He wanted to ensure me of two things. One, that he's not evil, he's not a bad guy. And two, he will not surrender to the conglomerate.
Okay, so the not surrender to the conglomerate part I get, but what do you mean by he's not fucking evil? He's Gilbert. I don't even think of him as good. I just sort of think of him like a puppy. Like a very little lost stupid puppy.
Yeah, well, that lost stupid puppy got himself a dangerous weapon.
Indeed.
Okay, so I am smart, but more details would be useful. Like, what sort of dangerous weapon are we talking about here? Does it have to do with the conglomerate? Is that why he doesn't want to turn himself over to them? He
You
stole
know,
something from them?
Miyako had that weapon there. Well, when he
Yes.
killed her, he took the weapon, and now he's got an evil weapon there, the wizard brother.
Wait a second, he killed someone?
Ah, it seems like it's out of the realm of possibility, but you know, even a broken clock is right twice a day, right?
Ha. Yeah, nope, still don't have any respect for him. Right, so he's not evil, and he has one of the evil Esper edges now.
Correct. That's what I've gathered so far.
Okay, this is going to be entertaining to watch.
Perhaps Villette and Ren could shed some more light on the situation, seeing as how they were there.
Maybe.
Speaking of, as you are walking, some shopping's had, and you guys continue on about your travel.
Yeah.
Side of Night Shark territory.
So we're walking.
It's getting kind of into the morning time, getting mid-morning esque. Sun's starting to rise up in the sky. It's kind of a bit overcast, but not terribly so. Winter is kind of dying down. It's coming towards its end, and it's kind of entering into spring. But what you notice is that the sun, out as it is, you do see that the moon is also out and about in the sky. And it has a very strange shape to it. It looks like it's actually cut off a sliver. But as you're looking at it, you notice that that's not the case. It's just kind of red in that corner. But because of the bright daylight of it, you're not really seeing the brightness or the intensity of that red.
So we would notice that this is a not a natural looking kind of a.
Yeah, it definitely looks a little strange. Most people aren't really noticing it, but every so often you'll pass a couple of people who are kind of, kind of looking up at it through the buildings.
Ren would ask Valette if she's ever seen anything like that before.
Blett didn't seem to notice until you pointed it out.
Okay, I pointed out. What do you think?
John, back with the weird. Did I have any notice of the back with the Pyramid of the Sky and Sam's little ordeal? Notice anything of the way the bloom looked, or recollect any conversations with Sam about specifically involving?
First time you've probably thought about the moon since you built your character.
Moon.
Never heard of such a thing.
I thought he was going to say of the moon. I
Never heard of the moon.
Wow, thanks for pointing that out, Ren. That's there.
Is the changing color? What do you think it could be?
I don't know. It doesn't look normal, but I'm not an expert in history, so I was wondering if there's any historical precedent for.
None that I would know of. Perhaps we could ask Brox or Sam. Brox with the history, or Sam maybe if it possibly is something arcane.
Right.
Hey, Sam knows history too.
Okay. You continue on. A bit of time passes for Broxcar, Brack, and Sam. If there's nothing that you're wanting to engage in while you're waiting, we can fast forward to that point. And Lord Kurgosler, you send runners out to kind of hire more, individuals to fight alongside you. Make an insight check.
All right. I was also going to send him out to notify the king that I'm still, on his side.
Yeah,
I'm still loyal.
I know that's also a message that's sent out.
All right.
But yeah, make a wisdom insight check.
Wisdom insight. Oh, come on, man. Wisdom insight. All right. Sorry, dude. Oh, it should be good. Yes, 22.
You start to notice that the new hires, the mercenaries you hired just yesterday, are definitely kind of being very inquisitive, asking other guards a lot more questions than you suppose they should be. And they also seem to be focusing on a lot about you and the activities that you're engaging in for some reason.
Well, that doesn't sound good at all. I'm going to try to shut that down, and then also tell my other guards to kind of watch those guys, because maybe they're spies or something.
You hear her say, "Fire them all. Just release them.
Yep.
You don't need to keep them.
I'll just release them all then.
Okay.
You gone.
All
Not
of-
all of them, only those ones that are new.
Yeah, all the new mercenaries that you hired yesterday.
Yeah, get rid of those guys. I don't want them asking questions.
Kick them out.
All right, I will do that, and then I will say, all right, I know something like, I would like to go up to my room, so do not bother me. I'd go up to my font, and I'd start the scrying.
Who's
This is
scrying?
like scribe party now. I'm gonna scry on Ren Keen Eyes.
Okay. Ren, make a wisdom saving throw.
Please fail it, Ren.
Wow. Anybody have inspiration?
For Gilbert?
I rolled a 20.
Oh,
Okay.
that's good.
Yeah, 20 will beat it. Let me double check something about Scrap.
Shucks.
I'm pretty sure it's just beating his.
No, I just
Spell
wanted
save.
to double check if the individual becomes aware of.
Ooh,
Gotcha.
that sneaky
I
bastard.
not remember that.
All right. Well, that's it for now.
Yeah. They have no idea.
Okay.
You have no idea.
Rats.
Wait, hold on.
Rats.
Let me check to see if I can find my scrying card.
Okay, wisdom saving throw, which is modified by how well you know the target. That's important. You know them very well.
So it's a -5 to the save modifier.
minus 10 to the save modifier.
Well, no. 10 is if
familiar.
you have a piece of them.
Well, the Esper edges are connected
Tied to him.
Well, yeah, but he doesn't have the.
A body part lock of
Well,
hair.
So wait,
to the
is his
hand.
Esper edge
I
like
tied
a
to the
physical
still?
part of it.
That's what I wanted to know, Sam.
I'll
Hold
give you a -4.
on. We'll do the satisfactory because we're gonna go with the -5, just using the knowledge instead of the connection. So -5 does a 15 past your wisdom saving throw, Gilbert.
It does not. I believe it's a 17, but it might be a little less. I can
Okay.
check to be sure.
Roll a d100 for me. Whoever.
Oh, would he get the
It's
plus
easy,
3
Kevin.
from my aura of protection since it's within 10 feet of?
Ooh.
Correct. Yeah, they
So
would.
So it'd be an 18 total.
18.
He beats it. Then he beats it.
Okay. Well, Matt,
Sorry,
back.
I
All
forgot I was muted.
Ah,
right.
Thank you, Valette.
Oh boy.
That was actually really helpful.
I don't need the D100. All right. Yeah. It doesn't seem to happen.
Bummer. All right. I'll just go about my business then, doing other
All right.
stuff.
Valette and Ren, you make it to Grisel's, and the door is visible. And yeah.
Let's go in.
All right.
There's a neat stack of chairs, a Broxgar and a Vrak sitting there, bored. Presume the bike was pulled into the house or the establishment, and yeah, Sam's there as well.
Is it just the 4 of them?
Appears to be.
Okay, then I guess Ren would look at Valette like concerns like this is we need to tell them right away
so
because
also,
we were
Valette
the only
would
ones that were
first
there,
walk
right?
up to Sam and present her cheek.
also, hold on one second. As soon as they get inside, the wall's going back up outside.
Close the door. Projected image up.
Okay.
Yep.
Because at this point, Ren and Valette think that they're the only ones that really saw what happened with Gilbert, right?
No,
Yeah.
Colette told me on the phone call, so.
Oh, right.
I would.
Okay.
You couldn't presume that I would have told Sam in the amount of time it took you
Got
to
it.
get here.
But yeah, when they first get in, Valette walks up and presents her cheek to Sam, expecting a punch.
Why are you showing me your ass?
My
You didn't specify
Facial
which
cheek,
cheek.
yeah, the one you would slap or punch. So
Still doesn't answer the question.
but Valette just stands there for a second. And if Sam doesn't retaliate with violence for finding out that Valette joined the conglomerate again, then
Honestly,
Shoot,
at
grab
this
it.
point, I've hit you so many times, you know what you deserve.
so without saying anything after nothing happens,
Fireball!
wow!
Is that real?
No.
No, we're
Valette-
inside of our room. It would affect all of us.
I'm not gonna guess fireball. In here.
Listen, let's get back to our problem at hand. It's Gilbert.
Are you kidding me?
What do we know about this? What can
I'll say the same thing I said about Gilbert calling me and swearing he's not, and that we can still trust him, and that you guys are welcome back to the house. But he also swears he just doesn't trust the conglomerate and he refuses to turn himself in.
Did you believe what he said?
I do. I wasn't there, you know. I haven't seen what you two have seen, but I believe I know Gilbert well enough that I can trust him. I don't think he intended to do evil. Or to
He might
side
not
with
be
us.
intending to do evil. He might be good at heart, but the Esper is not good. It's going to corrupt.
No, I agree. It's not a good
We need to
thing.
help him.
Oh, isn't
How
it?
do you propose we go about helping the little baby brother?
Well, that's a really good question. And then he would look at Valet.
So it's the 5 of us and Grizel.
No, Griselle left. Bye. Fuck this place.
Okay, so it's just us 5.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
Grizel left really early this morning.
Awesome. Okay,
Yeah,
I was worried
there.
that there'd be like a third party that I don't want them to know what I have.
They are out of the city, like, forever and ever.
They be gone.
Off the plague the other campaign.
Okay.
So I have if you may all remember, I have a means of making a wish, and I wanted to bring it before you how best it might be worded to prevent backlash and what might be the best course of action, the best wish to make in order to possibly help
I
Gilbert.
wish Gilbert never existed.
I like that one.
Let me get you a new
Let's
character
go with
sheet.
that.
Oh my gosh, that's like the most evil thing I could do.
Yeah, I love that word.
I mean, technically not. The most evil thing you could do is wish him
What
to
it-
die a horrible death right now.
She told me not to take the weapon. What if we just wish his existence out of reality?
Also, John,
Yeah.
as a question, do I realistically think that us wishing will affect the Esper Edges?
Maybe.
Okay, so there's like potentially a chance.
Yeah. The wish is a pretty nebulous thing. If it's used for its more global kind of effect, it can be kind of a very powerful thing.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure like it's not one of those things where it's just like, you know, crazy, powerful artifact wish isn't actually going to affect it for some unexplained side reason
The
that I would
Esperantis
know of.
appear to be that, but obviously they could be destroyed. So,
Right.
yeah.
Cool.
One thought was I worry that what happened with Gilbert is partially mine to blame for not going to him sooner when he had reached out for help. I wonder as if any of us were with him, if he would have made the same choices that led to his corruption. Or if,
Oh, that's why he called yesterday. Oh. That makes sense now.
but I wonder as if any of us were by his side, if
I thought the
might
next
not
thing
have-
you were going to say was, "Oh, that's too bad." Ooh. Sorry, Tim. Go ahead.
if any of us were by his side, if he might have turned from his self-reliance. I don't know. Brox, what do you think? Or Vrak? Besides the whole wishing him out of existence, because that's not going to happen.
Does knowing the answer help us?
Say again?
Does knowing the answer really help us? He has the sword regardless.
But Sam, do
say-
you?
We move forward.
What if there is a way to go back in time, if that's even possible, to that moment, to be by his side, to help him in his time of need? Because I fear the
mean,
repercussions of Radin being gone and Radin being lost.
Yeah, you could give that a shot, but I'm just going to say there's like a million things that could go wrong with you wishing I would like us to be back in time to stop Gilbert from getting this. I mean, for all we could know, it could shunt us back to when this Esper was created so that we can destroy it so that Gilbert never has to face it.
Yeah, we do have to be super careful. Plus, we don't know at what kind of a price using that ring could come with. Still don't entirely trust Fox Lady.
I agree.
Sorry.
Creepy.
No, she's not there. I just
Creepy.
felt it. It just came out of me.
Someone left the front door open, and I just came in.
Son of a bitch.
I am also concerned with what ways this ring may weave mischief or evil through our wish. For the impression I have is that it may be the most corrupt wish of the three that this ring originally possessed.
Aye, and it wouldn't be worth it to gain Gilbert back just to lose you. We have to be careful.
So that is why I bring it before you to what is it
Anyone
worth
got a
trying to
better
figure out a
idea?
wording to
We can start there.
So, wait a second. Also, what happened to Gilbert's actual Esper edge?
I pull out the husk of Cranebeak.
Solid
That's all
stone
lit.
block of Cranebeak. It's Cranebeak, but it's instead of being metal and fabric and cloth and the like in gemstones, it's stone.
So it seems non-magic-y right now to Sam's eyes, probably.
Seems to have trace magic about it.
But not like what it used to have.
Oh, it seems to have a pretty solid core of magic in it, as you're looking at it with your true sight.
Wait, do I have true sight when I'm in here?
I thought you had your head on, or your mask on.
Oh, I could put that on. Yeah.
I was wondering how you were looking at it to get.
Yeah, well, no, that actually makes sense. I forgot that the mask had true sight, so I probably would put the mask on to look at it.
It appears to have a very solid core of magical energy still inside of it.
So, this thing's still somewhat magical, from what I can tell. I'm wondering if we wish for this to be back to what it was before, if for some reason it would still be tethered to Gilbert, and then there might be some sort of, like, dual thing going on. Like, I imagine... I don't know. It's a thought. I'm imagining since, like, he's got the new one, this thing isn't no longer tethered to his soul, or however these bloody things work.
Well, seems to be tied to their sins. You two were there. You think he's gotten too vain to be tied to his crane beak anymore?
Might have been the smartest thing that's ever been uttered. Continue on. Despite the way it came out, it still might have been one of the smartest things said. Sorry for...
I think Gilbert's vanity is what led to Radin's destruction.
Yeah, fair enough.
And to him being a perfect host for the Rhyme Witch, Esper.
Seems like we need to change him before we can get it back to this.
I agree with Vrac. But also, I don't know about the wish. That's super dangerous.
Also, is it just me or does something feel off right now?
What does that mean?
Are there lights? Is there a candle in the room? Frack looks around.
The place is very, very well lit, but there does not appear to be a source of illumination.
No, just something feels off. I don't know, something felt off last night, this morning. Anyway, doesn't matter.
Ren, only because you mentioned it earlier, Ren had noticed the moon was turning red.
Yeah, yeah. Sam, I think that's something you should maybe take a look.
So, John, does Sam have an idea what a red moon would mean?
would be a lunar eclipse. If the moon is eclipsed, typically in its first stages, it'll start to turn red because of the blocking of solar light. And then over time, this moon will become entirely blackened out with a red tint around its edges due to it not being present from the lunar eclipse being from the planet, not just from its normal darkening.
And
So
then,
would you-
could I just finish this? I would also want to ask Brox if he has any historical knowledge of this happening in the past.
What I was going to say is also, so with the moon going red, would that mean Sam's face starts going white?
Could do. Yeah, definitely. Probably. Yeah, sounds about right.
Cool.
I'd freak out.
Is there any correlation with anything that's happened in history?
The only thing you can think of regarding eclipses, nothing lunar, but you remember that on the solar eclipse, the last time there was a solar eclipse was a really long time ago. One that came over this area. And from what you recall of the records, the last solar eclipse had two major events happen during and around it. That was the destruction of House Marcheshvan and the rise of House Rostigar about 600 years ago. And well before that, the fall of House Biako from its position as Speaker of the Shogun. So 15, 17, more like 2,000 years ago, quite a while ago.
Shortly after Yako's death. And I reiterate what John just said to you.
So in both cases, the eclipse was connected to the fall of a house.
Aye. And
Yeah.
both houses are connected to Espera, just somehow. A little weird.
John, can I make an intelligence check if I remember about the Bloody Duchess right now? Because I don't know if I actually would. But
If you in character do, or out of character do, you can say they do or don't. I'm not going to make you roll intelligence checks to know you as a player, what you know. You decide whether or not.
well, this talk of rising and falling houses makes me. When did the Bloody Duchess say she was coming? Did we ever let the prince know?
Cut the scene. Lord Kurgosler at your house, kind of gathering up your stuff. A couple of new mercenaries are kind of taking, the opportunity to get to know you, being interviewed by you. You're a bit more strict in your hiring processes at this point. And you start to realize that you're receiving kind of commentary regarding these individuals in the back of your head. It seems that everyone with slightly feminine kind of, continence, any kind of slightly feminine person, be it a slightly androgynous, male, or, female warrior type that presents to you, you kind of get like a negative, like, no, don't hire this person.
All right. I guess obviously she's biased. All right, I will, try to take some of her advice. I can hire all males, and that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I
guess.
Seems she's a bit more talkative as you start to do that.
Yeah. Well, I guess I would say, all right, I'll take your advice. Sounds like good advice. And I'd say, let's make sure our forces are bolstered and ready for anything. I don't know. I just have a bad feeling about what's going on.
Oh, of course. And as you're kind of finishing that comment and kind of out in the yard, kind of making sure no one's coming to the front gates to take up the offer of hiring, you've received messages back that your messages were delivered, but no replies have returned. And as you're just kind of idling around in your garden, looking out, you see that several flags start to pass through the noble quarter. Massive banners. War banners. Seems
War
that
banner.
they're moving in a very large fashion through the streets like a parade. And the banners that you start to notice are flying through are familiar, just slightly. You're trying to kind of remember where you remember them from. But the one you absolutely recall, the one that definitely stands out, is a blue flag with a white lily emblazoned upon it, the symbol of House Oltan.
Aha, Bloody Duchess. Oh man.
And based on
Alright.
what you're looking at here, it looks like she's called all of the vassal houses under the Duchess, and she's brought them all to come into Rostigar. And she's made it into Old Rostigar.
Yeah, that's not good because it's already too late at this point. Damn. All right, I'd run back into my house and just make sure she's not coming for me. I know she's not. But then I would grab the communicator and be like trying to get a hold of anybody. Valette. I'd try Valette first, actually.
No worries.
I would
Don't worry about the
Yeah.
commentary on it because they don't receive it. So yeah, moving right along back to the people in the house, unaware of the situation at hand. You recall what you recall.
Do you recall
Well-
what you recall, Valette?
Also, just to say, John, Sam have gotten up and walked out the door to look at the moon himself. So I don't know if
Yep.
there would have been a chance for Gilbert to have actually gotten him.
Sure. Go ahead and roll a d100 there,
Roll
Kevin.
100. All right, I'll roll it. Let's do it, guys. I think it needs to be 100, and so that's what I'm going to.
I'd say it's probably about a 5% chance.
Yeah, 95 then. Nope, 42.
Tried to call you while you were in the box.
Darn it, he never answers.
All right. You step
Only
up.
because I hate you.
I got it. It's mutual. Feelings mutual.
You step outside. From this distance, you can't really see the main street thoroughfare that leads to Alderac. But you do look out towards the sea, the river, and kind of up into the sky. The sun's kind of settled high above you, a little past noon. And you notice that the moon is also visible and is about halfway covered over and has a reddish kind of glow to it with a kind of shiny kind of outer edge, which you presume is the reflection of the sun.
Fuck. Got some people inside.
Yep. What are you guys doing inside as you recall what you recall?
Well, we need to make a plan about what we're going to do, whether we're going to go to House Kergosler and confront Gilbert, or use the ring in some or something else.
I think we should try confronting him first before we jump to something so drastic.
Do we know how long we have until the eclipse?
I'm sure I would know tonight.
I mean, that sounds about right.
Then who do we want to warn first?
I think it may be wise to be by Gilbert's side. I think we must be careful with our words around him. If possible, I don't know if it's good to be gentle or good to be blunt, but I worry that if we are not careful with what we say, we will only push him further away.
She's a poet, didn't know it.
I wasn't gonna say it.
Does the king or the conglomerate know about the Duchess?
I haven't spoken with Goodman about it. I only just remembered the Bloody Duchess. But we were with Goodman last night after on our way to and from our confrontation with Gilbert.
Perhaps you and I should step outside and send him a message there, robot brother.
It's probably a good idea.
Just don't let Sam know what you're doing, for fuck's sake.
That's why I said step outside.
Alright.
So Vlet would go with Rock outside to go tell Sam they're about to call the conglomerate.
I assume Sam's just standing there staring at the sky.
Well, as I said, I had to complete the end of the word.
Oh.
As we come up to Sam, I want to say to him,
Vlet and I gotta go see if we can get in contact with Gilbert there, brother. We're gonna talk about this eclipse and see if he knows, has seen anything from where he is.
We're also gonna let Major Goodman know about the Bloody Duchess coming. I already told him about you, Rock.
Fine, right. Go, thingy, do.
Okay.
I figure
You're heading.
we go call Goodman.
Oh, okay. All right, and then inside, Proxgar and Red, two sound of mind individuals in the group, I guess.
I would look at Brox and say, I think we need to go to Gilbert's house. This is not much choice.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think that's our best option.
So let's gather up the others if we can.
Ren, you kind of look over at the bike. It's just you and Proxgar. You want to give it a try?
Well, I mean, what, Valette not going to come with us?
Let's out calling the cops, man.
Well, we're not going to let's go outside and see if we could wait until that's finished. Then I'll go together.
Despite your desire to have, party unity, the bike still sits there and gleams.
I know what you're trying to do to me.
Ready for awesome solo adventures.
Right.
Well, shit.
I think what you said is true. It's best if we stick together.
Teamwork makes the dream work. All right, so.
All right, so as soon as they come
Bunch of
outside,
fucking
I'm going to
Boy
leave to
Scouts
find
over
Winston
here.
and Peter.
Okay.
Kidding.
Do you really? No.
No. I'm just joking. I'm not going to instantly break up the party like that.
Fair enough.
Yet.
All right, and then Andy and Drox are inside, and phone call or sending stone call. You're messaging into the channel. They ask you your designation.
Real quick though, who is making the call? Rock or Valette?
Either one could do
Rock
it.
has one too, right?
You're the one who knows about the Duchess.
Rock was there too, right?
Yeah, but you're the one who brought it up. I just assumed you'd be able to make the
Alright.
phone call. But if you make the phone call, eventually he'll pull out his stone. I'm not gonna
Agent X.
have there fucking stare at your eyes like.
You hear kind of like sound kind of coming in through the sending stone. It sounds like a pretty big, massive bit of noise, like you're calling someone like at a busy place, like a convention hall or something. Yeah, what is it? Report.
One thing just to make you aware
Quickly.
of is
Quickly.
the Bloody Duchess going to be coming if
Yeah, I'm looking
not-
right at her. Report. If you have any other information, make it quick.
she's expecting to be treated with the utmost civility, otherwise it could
She's
spell bloodshed.
Currently in audience with the king, and that's where I am. Okay. Thanks for the heads up. You hear the sending stone to shut off.
Good
Glad
timing,
you made that
guys.
phone call. Slaps him on the shoulder and walks back inside.
Intelligence is Valette's lowest score.
Yeah. Okay. Roxgar and Ren, that bike's still just kind of hanging out.
No.
But
Yeah, even though it's there, we're gonna say to the others, we think we should all go to Gilbert's house together to try to convince him, or to try to see if we could talk some sense into him.
Is that a yay from everyone?
And no one said anything. Okay, Valette. Okay, good.
I mean, Sam's just kind of, like, trying to figure he can do it.
Okay.
If I'm being completely open, I'm a little more concerned with the Duchess and the King.
Yeah, I'm sort of more concerned about like whatever's going to happen when the moon goes fully blood red and we're all going to get fucked.
What are you talking about?
But you know,
Proskar, in response to you saying that out loud, goes, "What are you talking about?" No, that was a real thing that just happened, man.
Yeah, what?
So you say
I
what?
did not hear that at
Okay.
all.
Yeah.
Right. So I don't know. I thought I explained the dream that I had about like the whole eclipse and the tentacles coming out of the sky and you know like potential end of the world sort of a thing.
Oh yeah, your crazy dream.
Yeah.
Valette turns to Vrock and
Crazy
say,
dream.
Vrock, it's your turn. I think you need to let him know about this. I'm the shit from our last call.
That the Duchess is with the King already?
About the shit hitting the fan with the red moon thing.
What? Oh man, I have no idea what you're talking about.
So, out of character, Valette is saying to Vrock needs... She didn't give much preamble, but was basically like, Vrock, you need to call Major Goodman about the red moon. Because Valette is in the shit about the Duchess thing.
Yeah, but... And tell him what? That a bunch of tentacles are gonna shoot out of the sky, maybe because my crazy wizard friend saw it when he was dreaming a couple of times? What is... No.
Well,
Fuck you.
also
Drinking
your
way too much.
crazy wizard friend who refuses to speak to the conglomerate on any condition.
Right.
But here's another fun one. So it's gonna go, yeah, the bloody Duchess is here, and he's like, yeah, I know, I'm looking right at her. Click, and then Brock calls, hey, the moon in the sky. There's a lunar eclipse. Yeah, I know, I can look up. Jeez, what are you gonna tell me?
Right?
next?
Like...
Dwarfs are
Hey, just to say,
short.
there's air. We have air on this planet.
There's air. You can breathe air. Also, water is wet.
Wait, did
Hot tip.
Sam ever actually let us know about what happened that one night with the circle?
What, the tree? Or inside the tree house?
Yeah.
Hell no. You think Sam trusts
But
you?
it finally went missing, so we never really had a conversation about that. Okay, so Vlad
Nope.
probably wouldn't have
No one
actually
asked
said
Sam.
all that because she doesn't know anything about the prophecies then. Just that Sam's freaking out about it. Okay.
Are we worrying about the prophecy, or are we going to help Gilbert? There's two things. There's two things.
There's a few more than that.
And just out of character, in the past, in the last campaign, we did make a choice to follow our selfish goals, and we let a city go to shit. We did do that. We did.
Yeah,
I
that was
think
fun.
that happened.
I enjoyed that time.
I'm more than happy to let Gilbert become a big bad evil guy.
I mean, honestly, I think that would be really fun to watch.
Right? That's like, let's go deal with the prophecy. Braz? Where Brack is. What are we gonna do about Gilbert? Go, like, fucking put him on a couch and take notes about how
Intervention.
sad his childhood was?
So, Gilbert, we're all here for you. We want to get you help.
I wrote you this letter. I want to sit here and read it to you.
Ren would turn to Brox. What do you think?
We have to protect the king. We are duty bound.
Okay,
would
I
say
guess we have
that
to let
helping-
Gilbert wait.
I would say helping Gilbert can start with at least including him with us. Being wary about what we say around
Do
him
we
and our
trust him
confidence.
to make the right choices when it matters? Or is it safer to just leave him in his house where he feels safe?
What
I
if he
mean,
doesn't
honestly-
stay in his house?
Well, I was going to say, would we rather we keep an eye on the person who might be evil? And honestly, who knows? Maybe the tentacles are connected to Gilbert turning, or like Esper evil now, or I don't know. As much as I hate it, I vote that we pick up Gilbert.
The enemy's closer thing?
Pretty much.
Oh boy.
We could just have him meet us at the castle, right? We phone him, say, Gilbert, we're heading to the castle. If you want to meet us there, we can all be there together.
Sounds like
Offer
a
the
good,
invitation.
sounds like a good plan.
I'll meet at the TGI Fridays at the castle. We'll see you there.
Gilbert, we're going. The whole crew's gonna be.
So before that happens, Gilbert, you see the flags as I mentioned. Do you stay at home, or are you going to go check what that's about?
Well, actually, the first thing that pops into Gilbert's head is, if they're attacking, I can use the power and destroy them all. I don't say that, but I do think that in my head, like, man, maybe I could use this power that the Rime Witch had to destroy these guys. And then I think, all right, I gotta go. So I make sure
Wait.
I have all my stuff with me, but I'm
Wait.
not gonna do anything right now.
Wait,
Yeah.
they're close enough. We could destroy them.
Yes, but we must wait. We have to make sure of their intentions, otherwise look like bad guy.
Yeah,
Trust me, I know these things.
they're
I'm a
attacking.
lord.
They're attacking the streets. We could deal with them here and now.
Yeah, but we don't know if they're. I don't actually see
We-
them attacking people, right?
No, they're not. We may never get another chance like this.
Well, you're right, but we're gonna go in. Actually, I'm gonna get all my stuff together, get my guards, and then if they call,
You love her.
I don't know if they call. Actually,
I
I'm gonna head
understand.
over to the king.
That's fine.
Yes.
You hear her go silent.
All right, I'll call you if I need you.
I won't answer.
I give her a goodbye kiss.
She just doesn't take it. She's mad right now.
I wouldn't do that, but
She's
all right,
mad.
I'm getting to go. I know she's pouting. That's okay.
She
I
thinks
get it.
you want to be with you want to be with the bloody Duchess instead.
I just want to make sure that I know what's happening.
I'll leave
I'm
you-
not gonna keep arguing with her. I'm gonna like.
Oh,
she's-
I'm just being a dork. Continue on. So you're going to try and
Right,
go
right.
to the castle. Okay. By the time
Yeah,
you
I'm
get
gonna
there,
bring some guards with me. Some guards with me,
Okay.
but not my entire
yeah, just
household
a contingent
amount
of some
guards.
royal guard.
Yeah,
That's fine.
contingent.
And
Right.
you would note that by the time you get there, most of the wagons, horses, and the like have started to pile into Alderak's courtyards. And you notice that the blue banner that was brought in, the war banner of House Oltan, is now risen up on the one of the flagpoles and is flying on the right side of Thrustagar's flag. And to the left is still the flag of House Madramic, as the Winter Elves are still in castle.
Interesting, but that doesn't mean that they've defeated the castle or anything, does it? Just means they're beaten with
It means that they're present in the castle.
the present. Okay, that's all right. That's good. All right, cool. I'm
Yeah.
gonna go make sure me and all my men are at the most presentable to the king. you know?
Yeah, and as you approach, you try to get through, try to muscle your way in. You see a couple of the guards halt you. Apologies, no nobles are allowed into the courts today. Special invitation only.
All right, I'm gonna stand outside of the guards then for a little while and kind of think to myself what I could do.
You could kill the guards and walk in. Do it.
Yes,
Destroy
You
them.
mentioned
We have the power.
I'm going.
Do it. Choose your anger.
All right, I'm gonna wait
So,
while I'm thinking about it.
when you're thinking about it, you notice that you're currently without a weapon. You don't know where
What happened to my weapon?
you don't know where Run's razor is. You think you might have left
I'm
it on the
gonna
bedside
be-
table.
No, wait a minute. I could have swore I had it with me. I'm
You
gonna go
could
like
have sworn.
this. See if it could come to my hand.
Doesn't.
Like,
You're not Thor.
son of a. All right. You know how long it would take me to walk back to my house?
Oh,
For a
wow.
while.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start heading back that way.
All right.
Son of a bitch.
You, on the way back, as you take the walk of shame, you get a phone call.
Aha. Hello.
I don't remember who called him. That's
Is that
funny.
right? Or
I think it was you, Joe.
me?
I don't know who it was.
Gilbert, hey, what's up?
Yo.
Hey,
Same old
we're-
stuff, you know.
We're all on our way down to the castle. See what's going on with the bloody guy. You want to meet us there? We can figure out what's going on.
Sure. I don't know if they'll let us in, but sure, I'll meet you there in a little bit. I might be a little bit late.
Oh, don't worry. They'll let King Broxigar.
Oh, that's true. They might. They might let you in. Don't go in without me. Wait for me. I'll be there. Trust me.
All
I'm
right,
bringing some
Gilbert.
contingent of guards. I gotta make sure they're up, ready, all that good stuff.
Sounds good. Everybody will be the whole gang.
All right. I'll double we'll pace. I'll go real quick.
Alright.
All right. I wish I had that car now. I want to get a car.
You guys make it to Alderac, and you can see that the gates have been closed, and there are now 3 flags flying over the castle. The flag of House Rostigar flies in the highest pole, and then to its right is House Oltan, to its left is House Madrava.
Does it signify anything in particular?
It means that they're in castle, and the highest of them is the ruling party current for the castle. So House Rostigar reigns, and it's attended by House Oltan. If it's the war banner that's up, it means at conflict, but probably not unpeaceful conflict, just at ends. And House Madramic's banner that's flying is also is at peace. It's not at odds.
Alright. When I get off the phone with Gilbert, I tell everybody it sounds like they're not letting people into the. But Gilbert
Well-
still said he would meet us there.
The gates do appear to be closed, as mentioned.
Right. So, do we have a plan for what to do in this situation?
Nope. No plan.
And we're going to wait for Gilbert.
I think we are.
It's really boring.
And Broxgar is royalty. You could ask them while we're waiting
Yeah,
if you'd be let in.
We can go and ask.
Yeah.
You as the king and me as the knight.
Yeah. I'll.
But would it not look odd if we ask for permission to enter and then don't enter right away because we're waiting for someone?
Maybe.
I think if we seek that, we should wait for Gilbert to join us so as not to break our word to him. We want him to depend on us.
Bunch of fucking Boy Scouts.
Stoop short legs.
I'm trying to save his soul and redeem him.
You make it back to
I'm
the
not
house.
trying to F that up.
You head upstairs. You go to
Drac
your bed.
just looks at Broxgar like it's up to him if he wants to go and talk to the guy now or later. Like, I don't have a whole lot of power in this situation.
We'll wait.
You head up. You head upstairs, and you make it into your room. And as you enter in, you kind of feel this kind of gush of cold kind of course over you as the door opens. Inside of your chamber, standing over your scrying bowl, is the Rhyme Witch, but she doesn't appear to be wearing her normal helmet. It seems like her face is unshorn by the massive arcane device that sits on her head in her ghostly form. And you can see what appears to be her face, fully and entirely. You notice that from where the mask attaches, all the way up, it's just scar tissue. Looks like someone just pulled back on the flesh and the hair and everything.
Gross.
A vengeful looking ghost staring into the mirror of your scrying dish. She looks up at you and vanishes.
Right, and I grab the Raiden's razor
Mm-hmm.
and attach it to my belt and go.
Okay. You head off,
Time.
rushing on
Hey,
back.
travel domain cleric. I
Yeah.
can go super fast, and
You're-
I'm gonna cast some spells to help me.
Yeah, you're pretty quick.
Whatever.
If you want to cast some spells, go ahead.
Well, actually, the problem is I'll outrun my guard. Never mind. We're going. We're marching.
You make it there, and you can see a group of tourist-like folk kind of standing around waiting for you.
I'll be like, look at this. The gang is back together.
He's accompanied by 5 individuals in the Barbagezi armor, his royal guard. And everyone seems to be the same as you remember them, Gilbert.
Yeah, it's the same as it always was. All right, guys. Thanks for waiting. Sorry, I had to get my guards. As you can tell, they're, they're a lot fancier than they used to be. I got this as the Barbagezi, Royal Guard, you know, they're cool. Never mind. All right, let's head in, guys.
The gates are closed.
The gates are closed.
I just lean over to, I'm going to say, Brack, and just sort of say, is it just me, or is Gilbert's head bigger?
Or the rest of him's gotten smaller.
All right, Brockstar, let's go. Maybe they'll let us in.
Okay.
Yeah, go give it a shot.
You see a lemon cap standing near the gate. He has massive yellow plumage kind of extending from his cap. He is one of the castle guard, and he doesn't seem to be paying attention to anybody, just kind of standing there near the gates, on the inside of the gates, staring off past the gates.
Oh, well, we'll just start to walk up like it's no big deal.
Doesn't
As the
seem
gate's
Is
closed.
that all
Yes.
6 of us?
the gates are closed. It doesn't seem like he changes his position. He is holding his guard station, just staring out past the gate.
Noble castle guard. Look alive! What are you doing, man?
He holds his position.
Daydreaming.
Doesn't seem to even recognize that you're present.
It's a Norwegian blue, you just stunned him.
I
Heard of a Norwegian blowy before, but not a Norwegian bluey.
I am King Brockscar Blazehatch of the Adamantine Throne, and I demand entry into the castle right now.
So, if the
Young
guard's
man.
not paying attention, I'm just going to start walking up the stairs.
There's
I
a
would just
gate.
go in.
There's gates.
Oh, the gate's closed.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Say what I say.
He stands there and just stares off in ahead. Doesn't seem to take any recognition of you or your presence.
Okay, well then we'll be on our way. And I open the gate and go.
You move to open the gate, and you see that it is pretty firmly locked.
I unlock. What is it like? What's going on here? Does this guy have to reach in to a keyhole that's on the inside, or?
It looks like there is a keyhole on the inside. That is right. He does have a key on his belt.
I grab the key off of his belt.
He's not close enough to reach him.
Telekinesis.
So, well, hold on a
Okay.
second.
Or-
I might have.
Actually, no, sorry, I apologize. He is close enough for you to reach him. Just as you're reaching out to grab the key, he turns into sand, moves back 5 feet, so now he's outside of your reach.
No, I tried talking to him. I pull a gun out and.
Oh,
Do you really?
No, I don't do that. I just stand there looking stupid.
Okay. Yeah, he doesn't seem to acknowledge you or paying attention to you. And you would know, I mean, just kind of paying attention to history, the castle guard typically don't talk to anyone besides their captains while on duty.
And you said he turned into sand
Oh, that
and
was
moved back?
that was a joke for Joe. Only
Gotcha.
Joe got the joke.
Fair enough.
Actually, let's just go ahead and highlight that joke so we can get the meta Dupre conversation out of the way. This is a good stop for a second, and let's have a history lesson. There was a time a while ago where they were fighting a mummy who was a little bit different, had the ability to kind of teleport himself via sand. I wasn't really using the ability very often, but was wearing armor, and Joe had cast heat metal on the armor to start burning the crap out of my mummy, and so it teleported. And
He
it
just turned into sand.
left the armor behind. And Joe was like, oh yeah, sure it does, fucking.
Makes sense.
He didn't have that ability. John fucking ad hoc the ability onto them, so that
He
he could
could
get
turn
around
it-
heat.
He could turn into sand. That was a thing he could do.
Met.
Anyway, so the guard turns to sand. No, I'm kidding. The guard stands there, does not respond to any inquiries.
Well, I tried. Look around at the others. Any idea?
I'm not sure that the king realizes that he could be in danger, so maybe we should just wait here But the problem is we won't be able to get in until there's a problem inside, and at that point it may be too late.
From the little information I gathered about the current situation, I'm sure the king is well aware of the gravity of this situation. I'm sure the Bloody Duchess made it quite clear when
You'd
she
have
arrived.
to assume, based on the sounds of it, it sounds like the Magier, the Bloody Duchess, and the king are probably all in the same room.
I mean, what's the worst that could happen, right?
War's declared. A fight
Bloody-
breaks out.
Blade Duchess
You know,
kills everybody.
Try asking the Magier to let us in there, robot lady brother.
I think it's your turn.
I don't think he'll
Wait.
say yes to me.
Then he won't say yes to me either.
Fair enough.
You know, I'm perfectly fine with that being the situation.
There could be plenty of worse Magiers in the tower, Sam.
Yeah, you
I
say
know
that.
we have a long road ahead of trying to figure this all out, but
Damn it, why is it that silence is a bard spell?
As you're kind of, sitting there, kind of wondering what to do, Sam every so often kind of glances over to the moon just to take a look, and yeah, it does look like it's probably going to coordinate with evening time when it fully becomes eclipsed. You also notice that hour is actually coming quite a bit quicker since you've walked from Gorsel's house to here, and Gilbert's walked back and forth, starting that around noonish. Because the sun was directly overhead, or just a little off when you first noticed this moon situation there. I'd say it's probably about mid-afternoon. And you notice that the House Alderak's messenger group starts looking lively, moving out of the castle and heading off into the city outside of their own section gates. Looks like they're heading off into different directions to the nobility, you presume, toward Kirkosler.
We go in the gate when it opens, you fucking smart ass.
The messenger gates. They're. You can attempt to sneak in. That's fine, if you want.
I'm walking.
Yeah, you
Like
do.
I own the place.
You do see it coming, so it's definitely. But these aren't the main gates; these are side gates. If you want to attempt to do that, that's fine. Just let me know if that's what you want to do.
I don't recommend we do that. That's not going to be looked kindly upon by the king. So let's just hang out here, find out what happens.
I think if there is nothing to be done with the king that we cannot help without incurring potential bad graces, we should seek to do what we can to stall or prepare for whatever the moon will bring tonight.
Let's head back to my place.
We all awkwardly look at each other.
I gotta go home. My girlfriend's coming over. You guys start making up excuses.
Sam, where
No
would you
excuse,
be
Sam
best
just doesn't want
suited? Sam, where would you be best suited to do any additional preparations or research for tonight? What can we do to help?
You know, for once I'm going to say this and completely mean it. I have no idea. My tree is gone, with all of my notes in it. And with the portal to, like, just different places we could check out. I mean, I don't know, are there any, like, ridiculously ancient libraries around here that might have something?
There's one inside of the castle. There's probably a decent collection of knowledge inside of the tower. Probably reforged from revenants from the old tower, the conglomerate tower, I mean. The bookworms probably have a bit so that they can pull at the ready from the Tolnamri Academy. pretty much the main ones you know about.
Yeah, so basically right now it's the castle, the book guys, and that's kind of where we're standing right now.
What about the circle in Gilbert's basement, though? Could you use that to get back into the tower? The tree?
The answer is yes.
Sure, that might work. I suppose we could go back to Gilbert's. Suppose.
Also, if you gave me a list of things that I'd be needing to look for, I could attempt to search the conglomerate's libraries. I don't know how successful it would be, how good I would be at it, but you might as well use us at your disposal if we can be of help.
I can always go and help him.
I feel like if I did that, I'd owe you a favor.
There would be no favors owed. This is me trying to help possibly save the world.
I look at Rack.
Broxgar, sorry. While this is all going on and you're kind of scoping out the messengers as they leave, kind of looking to see if you can find an entrance, kind of just annoyed that you're being blocked off, make a wisdom perception check, obviously with advantage because you got your cool goggles on.
Cool goggles.
I got 13.
It's decent enough. You notice that the crowd outside, the throng, there are several banners that are kind of floating above, and kind of noticeably so. Like there does appear to be like the entirety of the pretty much every single one of the houses underneath the duchy has brought a representative and a contingent force along with them. Kind of in closer in the courtyard, the bailey of the this portion of the castle, you notice that there's quite a few people kind of just milling about, and you notice 3 people you recognize and would be able to spot out anywhere. A man in armor with a symbol set on the forehead of his full helm that reads in Dwarven Slayer. A human in bronzish gold armor with a very massive sword set to his back. And a woman in bright colors with a dagger at her hip. Just milling about in the castle courtyard.
Go round 2, baby.
Oh, are they evil espers over there?
Oh, are they? Gilbert?
I'm at my dad's house.
I nudge Brad. Point them out.
There they are.
What
As
is
I-
between us and them?
These are the guys.
A
that-
gate.
How tall is the
never mind.
gate?
It's about 15 feet high.
Sam and I could get one of you guys over there each.
You could definitely wedge your way through, but it does look like there are guards in between you and them, and an entire army on the other side there, or several squads that form an army, and they appear to be amongst their number.
Brack pulls the owl statue out of his pocket and shows it to Broxgar.
I can get us over, but it's
Let's
gonna
go.
piss a lot of them off.
Fuck them.
Just like old days.
Do we tell the others, or we just expect them to follow?
Ren.
So,
There
I
are
have
3
been
evil
thinking of my
espers
vote.
over there. One of them's responsible for slaughtering my family, and another for Brack's people. There's no more to be said. I'm gonna go kill them.
Brack throws
So Ren draws his sword.
I draw my sword.
Let's go.
With ya.
All right.
Sam draws his. He doesn't draw anything.
The guard sees these kind of activities happen, and doesn't seem to budge or move. Completely implacable.
All right, I can dimension door one person over there. Who wants to go?
Send me a.
Brack and I can probably both fit on the bird. That was my assumption. Is that
All right,
I
well, then
would
I'll take.
on the bird going over.
Yeah, I'm with Brack.
I'll, take
I'll go
mine.
with you, Gilbert, then.
Oh,
Or
all right.
Villette, sure. That's
whoever. I'll take Valette, and Sam will have to take the other person over. Dimension door. You guys ready? Let's do this, man.
I have to go with
Gosler's
Gilbert.
heroes are out again.
Just tell me what you're doing.
I grab Valette and Dimension door and follow these guys if they're gonna
Alright.
fly over first.
What's the saving throw on that?
You're not gonna help your buddies?
It's not about not helping, it's about going with you.
Oh
Yeah,
my gosh.
no one told Tim Valette anything. You just grab him and try and dimension door, and he's
Well-
like, "Oh fuck!"
Valette.
I'm not gonna do that until you guys fly over there.
Valette,
You know,
as
obviously that's what I'm waiting to do.
you see the owl statue kind of create the owl down. The guard and everyone around doesn't seem to notice. There's some people outside of the gates that kind of take notice. And you then feel Gilbert's hand grab a hold of you. You are resisting the spell that's being cast upon you.
I say let's go with them.
Shh, if you're not Tim, stop talking. Tim, do you resist the spell that's been cast upon you? Dimension door.
He's praying right now.
Oh, sorry. I see.
Just
I've
answer.
heard them say there's people there we're gonna kill.
Yeah.
I see them preparing to go.
Yep.
I want to help them, but this is gonna end really badly for us, like political
Yeah.
consequences. I think this is gonna be bad news bears.
Uh-huh.
These bears.
I'm uneasy with Gilbert,
You're
and I potentially have my own means of getting there.
So this is
I
like
resist.
literally okay. So make a wisdom saving throw, I believe. No, sorry, nothing. No saving throw. You can only
Yeah,
take
you'd have to
willing.
be willing.
Yeah, you can only take willing targets. So you watch as Gilbert jaunts from you. Gilbert, roll 4d6.
46. All right, that's what the spell's like. This is not going to be good at 46. 20. That's a good roll.
You watch
Damage.
an aura appear around the bars, and then you see this shape of a bluish colored gnome in kind of like a spectral state slam into the wall and then appear next to you falling against the ground or falling on the ground near you. Take 20
Yeah, so you see, that's why I didn't do anything.
take 20 points of force damage, Gilbert. And
I
then
got it.
you see that as you're mounting the owl, Brox and Vrack. Is it still your intent to fly over the gate and into the courtyard?
Private ball.
I
Yeah.
was going to wait till after they flew
Okay.
over, though, but that's
The
okay.
second the bird starts to become aloft and get over the gate, you see the guard raise his sword up into the air, and a bolt of lightning strikes out from the top of Alderak's highest spire down to his sword, and then up into your owl. Dexterity saving throw from the owl, from Vrack, and from
Jesus
Brock.
Christ.
Now, aren't you glad that I didn't just jump into it, Ren?
Show you fail.
I guess so, Sam.
Good call.
Look at these guys are gonna get scorched.
I'm really glad I chose to resist.
Vrack, you
Good
fail.
call.
I would like to spend my inspiration.
You still fail. And then your bird. Do you have an owl?
Yeah, I
Okay.
did look at. $16 for the
Also
owl.
fails. All right. So the owl, and the two of you will take 51 points of lightning damage as you're struck by this bolt from the sword. Does that kill the bird?
Yep.
Okay. The two of you need to go ahead and make another dexterity saving throw for falling. You are either going to land on the spikes if you roll 4 less than the DC I'm setting, and then if you succeed, you can land on either side you want. If you fail this saving throw, you fall on their side. 16 is a success. Do you want to land on the guard side, or do you want to land on your side, Brox?
There's 4
I
phantoms.
want to land
There's
on the
5.
guard side.
Okay. And Vrack, you succeed as well. Do you wish to land on the guard side?
Yeah, I'm landing.
Okay.
Fox, let's do this.
All right. Ren, Valette, and Sam, you see them kind of appear on the other side. You see the guard still holding his sword up in the air, look down at the two, and he says, in a voice that kind of booms out from him, "Halt." So your guys' play.
So Sam starts walking away casually, like he doesn't know any of these crazy people.
Gets a
Oh,
hot
Vled
pretzel at the corner.
Vled is so torn right now 'cause she can't help then, and she's so worried for her friends. Not only is Brock's about to give in to Wrath, like hardcore, and turn red himself, but like,
Well, hold
oh man, they
Hold
might
on.
just die.
So hold on. If you're not doing anything, Broxgar and Brack, you are on the opposite side. What do? Do you halt like the
Brack
guard
would like
says?
to draw his blade. I'm not gonna
Well,
move.
you already
from
did.
where- Okay, yeah, but I'm gonna point at those three and say, "Those three, there, stop them!"
A whole bunch of people kind of turn and look in your direction. The three that you're yelling about don't seem to. Only a couple people in the outliers kind of do. And the guard still stands over you, sword well above his head and still glinting with electricity. Broxgar, what do? They're probably about 60 feet away from you, but there's a lot of people between you and them. Are you rushing towards them and are you going to fight them? You're muted.
Muted.
Yes. Yes,
Okay.
I'm gonna shoot it.
Here's what you see happen. Brack. You see Broxgar, like, his eyes glare narrow, and he raises the weapon, the cannon, and as he does so, he feels this weight come over him. Broxgar, make a strength saving throw.
15.
You succeed. The gun is very heavy, like someone's trying to push it down, some unseen force. Do you still wish to raise the weapon and fire?
I do.
Okay. As you do so, you pull the trigger, and before you see Kolgar Blaze Hatchet appear. The bullet enter his heart, the ghost's heart, and he looks at you with just kind of a look of, oh, this again, and starts to just melt away in front of you. You see the bullet fire out. Go ahead and take the shot.
No.
Hits, considered a critical hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
So, guys, I think he just killed the king.
Roll damage again.
Whoopsies.
Actually, no, it's a crit, so you just add the maximum. So it would be 10. Yeah, well, that works perfect. Okay, you fire the shot, totally not seeing it coming and not expecting it. I'm assuming your primary target was the one who killed your clan.
Slayer.
Yeah. The bullet hits his helmet, and you watch as his helmet flies off, and the mangled head and neck of a human kind of just descends in a mess, a shower of blood splattering out as the helmet goes flying off in the distance. Everyone in the courtyard turns their attention towards you. You then
Guys,
watch.
I want to just say, I'm having so much fun with this right now.
You then,
No, oh my god.
you then watch as fury becomes a solid block of stone in your hands. And you stare out at Slayer. Dead. Dying. Falling to the ground. I'm not cutting it off there. I just want to just make sure that's a dramatic point that's throwing home there. For those of you who are outside of the gate, what would you like to do? It definitely looks like the guard's about to throw down another lightning bolt.
Well, as I said, I started walking away. Like, is there a pretzel stand on the corner that I
Yeah.
can walk to, or hot dogs? Or something?
Yeah.
Ren would we need to try to walk up to the guards and try to stop them from hurting Brock.
Just fly casual, guys. Just fly casual.
Valette, Ren's kind of moving towards the gates like he's going to want to try and...
So I take out my badge if I can,
Yeah,
or
that's
try
good,
to
yeah.
show some official.
Yep, that's cool. Valette,
After hearing the gunshot, I think Vlette just like slumps to her knees and just like is not again. Vlette just has this feeling of what that like, because she was
Brack.
worried that with Brock saw him, he'd given the wrath, and she thinks that just happened. She slumps to her knees and is just like,
Brack, what would you like to do? Okay, so I'm going to ask...
I was told. Go ahead.
I'm going to ask you a question here. in your heart of hearts, in this current position, what would you want to do more than anything? Follow and obey the command of the guard, leave the situation entirely without Brox, or take Brox and try and spare him somehow?
I think he just shot Slayer in the head and killed him in one shot, right?
Sure did.
That would freeze Vrak in his fucking tracks, because now that's too easy. Like,
Well, no.
that seemed too easy. Why was that so easy? And like, I was told to halt, and now I don't know who to charge, because I was supposed to charge that guy and he blew his head off, and I can't run away because I can't leave him. So I'm right here, like, sword out, but like frozen still, like not moving a goddamn muscle. Like, oh shit.
It's not so much that the command is doing it. It seems like a good idea. Like it's like, it's a helpful suggestion. Halt. That's not logical.
All right.
No,
great idea right now. I got nothing better.
That makes perfect sense. All right. Broxgar. Another bolt from above, edict from the castle, slams down into the blade, and he points the blade directly at you, engaging the full force of the detonation directly into you. Make a dexterity saving throw if you wish to resist. Alright. You're taking 48 points of damage. Are you still standing?
So, John,
Yeah, but
I have a question really quickly.
Shoot.
In this D&D world, is there such a thing as diplomatic immunity?
Depends.
Brock's hazard. He's an ambassador.
I mean, if you
For
want
another country.
to have someone litigate for him once I get him incarcerated here, or knocked unconscious.
I volunteer.
You're an accountant, I thought.
No, I'm a court person. I'm good
So-
at that stuff.
After the second bolt is fired, and you realize that Fury is now a block of stone in the shape of Fury, and everyone outside is looking at you, and it seems like a loud cacophony of people yelling and like cursing in your direction is being had. The guard says one more time with a booming, thundering voice, "Halt."
Turn and shoot the guard.
There's no gun.
There's no gun, it's
I
a
mean,
block of stone.
He can pull a regular one if he wants to go shooting some harder.
I dropped my knee.
Okay. The guard recognizes the compliance. The sword stops shining bright. The spire of Alderac also stops shining bright. He sheaths the sword, walks over to you, places his hand on your wrist, then places his hand on your other wrist. The second he does so and kind of moves his hands away, you realize that adamantine shackles are now over your wrists. "Stand," he says, with his thaumaturgic voice.
I stink.
You see a bevy of about 6 other castle guards with the high plumed lemon caps come out of the castle area. You also see that Major Goodman is among them, walking over in your direction. As you approach, you see Major Goodman look to the castle guard. "He committed an act of magical crime. I will be taking him." The guards all turn and look at Major Goodman. "Incorrect. As you understand, edict, any laws broken on the grounds of Alderac are royal crimes, despite their nature. You have no jurisdiction here." Major kind of looks towards Rockstar with kind of a, like I tried kind of look. And the lemon caps all kind of move to kind of surround you and lead you from the courtyard in towards the castle. Gilbert, looking at the situation, you recognize that he's being taken to the cells of the bear, which are beneath the castle proper. So the castle portion that you were in when you had the party, underneath those is kind of like a basement area with like a lot of fine, like old wines and other ales and stuff, like old kind of things that are used for parties. And then directly underneath that are the cells of the bear, which is basically kind of a royal prisoner location where royal prisoners are kept.
I would mention that to these guys. Looks like they're taking him to the royal prison, which is good for him because at least they're considering him a royalty. I'll have to talk to some people I know and see what I can do. Maybe I can get him out. Don't worry, Brockscar. Stand strong. You did nothing wrong. I yell out to him. Don't say anything incriminating.
As you're yelling that out,
Don't admit to anything.
one of the guards looks to Brack, kind of staying with him. You've committed no crimes other than being dropped into this location. You may go. If you resist or wish to stay, you will be incarcerated.
What if the Major vouches for me? I turn to him.
The Major says, kind of shakes his head.
Then go I shall.
The gates open and allow you out. As you're kind of stepping out, though, you kind of look over your shoulder back at the situation. You can see Broxcar kind of walking with the caps. You see Slayer's body still kind of laying there and people kind of standing around it. And you see the woman with the brightly colored clothes reach down and grab something from Slayer, yank it off of his back. And she starts walking to you with this parcel in her hand, just walking casually towards the gates.
I'll get outside them, but allow her to approach me.
She comes up to the gates. She does not exit them and kind of looks at you through them. She throws the parcel down through the gates. Let him know if he wants it, he's earned it. She grins and walks away.
I'll grab the parcel, but I'm not going to open it here.
Okay.
Is anyone else still around?
Yeah. Gilbert and Ren are around.
Cool.
That was where he took off, like, head in her hands, on her knees, just...
Sam's eating a fucking pretzel.
Yeah. Sam's eating a fucking pretzel and walking towards the library.
You get a phone call, actually.
Oh, I pick it up.
Hey, boss. I went through with the plan. The old territory we had in Old Rostigar is ceded to the Night Sharks, and all of the Gentleman Society's territory is now ours. So the new Night Shark territory rides alongside Alderac, and our new territory does as well. And we are also have been declared as the Bridge Guardians. If any Kengo forces, Kengo attempts at movement are brought forward again, we are on our honor. he says, kind of, we are expected to tell everyone, if for any reason the Kengo ever make it into the main area, we are to tell everyone every other game.
Right.
And it sounds like the Green Daggers are going to be taking over the Red Knives are going to be taking over the Green Daggers territory. And the Bookworms said that they are no longer in the territory game, but they will not allow the Mardigans territory, former territory, to be ceded to anyone. They will not claim it, but they are stating that they will hold it in the meantime, until the Mardigans declare whether or not it is forfeit or not.
Sounds good.
That's what I got, boss, and hope that's good. All right, great deal. Winston says hi. Hey, boss. And they hang up. Back to a crying party outside the gate.
John, I would just like to clarify. I am walking towards like the librarian's territory to like see if their library might have anything.
Sure.
Because I'm not staying there right now.
Just migrating, moving around, getting out of there. Got it. Are you taking a sky rail or a trolley or just walking?
I'll take a trolley because.
Yep. Safe and cheap.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. The parcel feels axe-shaped.
Yep. Yeah, I've got a pretty good idea what it is.
It's Axe body spray.
Yeah, I'm not going to do anything with it right now. Rox is in the dungeons. They all saw that, I'm assuming.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now what, pointy ears?
Looks to Ren.
We need to find a way in to get him out.
think busting him out of prison is a good idea?
No, not busting him out. I need to get to him and help him get out the right way. And then Ren would look towards Gilbert. I think you could help with that.
I could actually. It's going to be tough though, and I think we're going to have to put together a case of what happened. And so I'm going to need all the things that guy. So maybe we can make it look like he shot him because of past crimes he had committed. I think maybe we can get him off that way. Plus, he is royal, so that helps. We'll see.
Diplomatic community.
Exactly. We'll throw that one out there. So yeah, it's gonna be tough, but we could do it. Man, this didn't go like I thought it would. I thought you guys would get in there, kick these guys' butts.
I had a gut feeling that it would go somewhere about right like that.
That's
Yeah.
about what you probably thought.
Shock.
We should have taunted them and had
So
them come out to us, but oh well.
So, Broxgar, you are led down into a sub-basement underneath a basement. And the cells in here are actually quite clean and very tidy and quite a bit roomy. As you're walking through, you notice that there's only one other prisoner that you pass by in the cells. Seems to be a human gentleman. His left hand seems to be covered in rock. Like he's got a mitten made out of rock. He has kind of like a short military cropped hair style and kind of just tattered, roguish looking clothes. Just sitting in that cell by himself. You walk past him and are led to a cell. The door's opened. You're led inside. The door's closed. You're locked in. A few hours pass. You can feel that it's getting dark. Just a sense that you have. Not that you can see any light or anything coming through, because there is none. But you have a feeling that it's getting dark. It feels like nighttime. You're also pretty tired. Killing a guy can take it out of you. Also 2 mega blasts of lightning to the chest. Still standing. Can also do a number. It seems that candlelight starts to kind of appear from where you entered in. And you see that 2 individuals appear to be coming down. One of them appears to be a guard. Recognize that pretty immediately. The other individual seems to be the woman from Slayer's group. The one that impaled Vrak on her lance of a dagger. She walks with the guard. And she says, "It's okay that I speak to him? If he's willing?" The guard says, "Of course." The woman walks over to the bars, standing a ways back, and looks in. Broxgar Blaze Hatchet, King of the Dwarves of the Red Forge, heir to the most wild throne. Interesting. Much, much better than a boy raised by a tavern owner, beaten by his drunken father. Could have been you if you were born differently. Could have been you in a past life, who knows? Some angry young punk in a suit of armor. Good shot, by the way.
No response.
Great shot indeed. I gave your friend something that might be very important to you, even if you don't wish to bind to it and keep it. The history of it's important to you. And I hope you recognize that giving it up is a boon to you, even if you don't wish to connect with it in this way that we have going on here. In fact, I'd prefer it if you didn't. But the choice is yours. You've earned it. The weapon I've given your friends was the first weapon made by Durgadin Blaze Hatchet, the patriarch of your clan. The Blaze Hatchet. it will give you even more right and title to your claimancy. Just having it. So, I hope you recognize the importance of that. I had hoped that the human known as Slayer would humor the dwarves and hopefully bring one along to take the claim himself. Would have given us greater access to what we needed here in the capital. Unfortunately, like you appear to be, he angers very easily. Does things that aren't exactly beneficial to him after the fact. But, again, I give you this gift. I expect nothing in return. You've earned it by right. And I just want you to know, if you do elect to connect with the axe in our special way, then I hope that you put it to good use and not selfish use. Have a good night, she says as she walks away.
That was the redhead.
Yeah. The one with the bright colors and the dagger. The one that impaled Brack. Like a ragdoll. Alright. The rest of you outside, do you head back to Gilbert's house for a reconvene? Gilbert, you know that the earliest you'll probably be able to get into the gates based on them being locked is tomorrow, so there's no point standing around outside. Do you wish to reconvene at Gilbert's house?
Well, the reason I would say we might want to go there, guys, is it is a good, strong place if we do have to fight anybody off. I don't know what's going on, but at least we should...
Says the evil guy turns to Ren.
What?
Nothing.
Nothing. He says he loves my guy, and second only to Ren. He said second only to Ren. That's what he said.
Is that what he said? I think we should pick up. We should get Sam.
Get Sam. Yeah.
Yeah. And maybe he see what he knows about the maybe first of all, maybe he'll give us some pretzels, and then maybe he can tell us more about the moon.
Yeah, that's important. Something bad could happen when the it's fully eclipsed.
Oh, they're not just pretzels. They're really soft pretzels.
How'd you get those?
Way better than New York.
Wow.
Rasvigar's a proxy for Philadelphia, apparently.
So, really love. Feel it.
The Barbagezi guard captain kind of walks over to you and says, "Very strange lot you roll around with, my lord. I would suggest not doing anything too brash like you did before. Their magical wardings are much more powerful than the principalities. You should be aware that that was a bad idea."
Yeah, I kind of got caught up in the moment, but
Yeah, it's probably
luckily,
best not to act so brashly. See what happened to the dwarf there.
Yeah, that was a big lesson in not acting brashly here.
Fair enough. We are here to protect you, but it is impossible to protect you from yourself.
You're right. That's true. That's very true.
Vrack looks at the gnome. The gnome looks at Vrack, and there's this moment of like, I know you. You're me.
Yeah.
We're the same.
We're all
Ben
stupid.
Ray.
Yeah.
Who's going back to Gilbert's house, if anyone?
Valette, what Valette would have done is overhearing them talk, gets up, and she would just page Sam with the communicator.
Do you pick up? You're still walking towards the academy, right?
Yeah, I'll
Trolley.
pick up for a second. Hello?
Sam, it's Valette. Let me know what information I can try and find for you. Now that
Stuff on
Brock is...
Eclipses?
Well, now that Brox is tied up, I think we need all the more information to prepare for tonight as best we can.
Give me 1 second. I want to pull up my notes because I think I wrote down that title of that book that I found. I just don't have my notes open right now.
Let's like, I wish I could find this book. Boom! It pops in her hand. Oh shit! I activated that wish.
No, nothing like
Son
that.
of a bitch.
It's All right, I don't see the book, but anything on Sextor Sul or Umbru.
Okay. You're studying for the
Probably.
moon, and you're studying for the 13th zodiac. Okay. Cool. And then Valette, are you going with Bra or Gilbert to his house, or are you going somewhere else?
Do you want to still go to the tower?
You're muted, Tim.
Valette would just say, I'm headed to the tower to do research for Sam.
I'll go with
Brock,
him.
if you want to join me, you can, but
Ren.
Where's Sam going?
Sam's gone.
I didn't ask. I only am seeking to help prepare for whatever is going to happen tonight.
Yeah, Sam dips at, in the middle of the fight.
Yeah. And so where is Vrak?
Brack's going with Valette to the Conglomerate Tower.
Me too.
Yeah, you know what? I don't think with this night coming up, that's supposed to be bad. Like, if we all separate, we're not gonna be able to help each other, and we're already down one person.
Well,
And we
their
gotta
decisions
get
have been
along.
made. That's cool. You if you want to try and persuade them, is anybody hearing it or no?
I'm trying to persuade these guys. I'm just saying, all
'Cause
right, guys, we could go.
you-
You might
So
wanna wait to research tomorrow after this whole whatever happens.
You have been
So
talking
hold on.
about going places for the last 15 or 20 minutes, so I just want to make sure we're kind of going somewhere. That's all. So, if go ahead, Ren, counterpoint.
I was just gonna say that out of earshot of Gilbert, Ren would say to Vrak and Valette, I think that if we're gonna go back to Gilbert's house, it has to be more than just one of us because I'm a little worried about that. I don't know if I completely trust what's gonna happen there. That is a stronghold, and that the Esper is not a good one. So we should all be there.
So Ren's saying he wants backup.
That's exactly what Ren is saying.
Scared.
You go.
No, you go.
All right.
No.
So,
you
guys, I'd like to congratulate us on again splitting the party completely.
Yeah.
Well, to Gilbert's pleas to not split, Valette would just try to it was sort of countering it by Gilbert, I'm sorry that I wasn't there for you in your time of need. I apologize for not taking your concerns more dire consequences that they turned out to be. But I fear that if I don't go to try and help Sam gather as much information as possible, something terrible could happen. And I don't want to just let this blow over. I want to face it head on. And if my best shot is at the Conglomerate Tower, that's where I have to go.
I guess what I was trying to say was I agree with everything you're saying. Thank you for apologizing, because not everybody is able to do that. I shoot a little glance over at Ren, and then I say,
All right,
but
and while they're doing that lovey-dovey thing, can I whisper to Ren?
The bike seats too.
I say,
Let's
Wait,
do it.
Wait.
What?
The bike just shines. Sorry.
Man.
Where to?
Gilbert.
Listen, if you are going to research something for tonight, it's too late. You're not going to find anything. You're going to be at the tower researching when whatever it is happens. So either we stay here at the castle and camp out at the foot of this place, or we go back to my place, which is a fortress, and we hang out and hopefully hope that we can defend ourselves. Otherwise, if you guys just want to split up, I'm just saying I think this is a bad idea. And actually, Brux is probably the safest one of everybody, unless they kill everybody in the castle and then kill all the prisoners, which I don't think is going to happen. But
How did you know what I was
All
gonna?
right, and right as he finishes saying that, you hear the engine to the fucking motorcycle
All right, you've been heard, little blue brother. I'm
right.
still going to the tower.
I'll see you.
John.
Better red than dead. Remember that.
Do you think I could...
Wow.
Are you telling us to become communists?
I'm saying,
Red Dead Redemption
I'm
right
saying
there.
there's two of us now. You guys better beware. because you're gonna get tricked into it. Is all I'm saying. And I'm going back to my place. Whoever wants to come is welcome. Brox will be there in spirit. I know he will. I'll be researching how to get his ass out of prison.
He'll have 7-layer
So-
dip. It'll be a party.
It'll be a party.
So
You guys are
one
gone.
side thing and then one thing related. Side thing. Dang! So if I want evil, I could have had the 6 swords. Crap.
Millette, I'm gonna ask you.
Two.
I'm gonna ask you one question.
Ah.
One question and one question alone. Do you keep a hold of the parcel, or do you relinquish it to someone else before you ride off?
I thought I had it.
Oh, sorry, Brack. Do you relinquish the parcel,
Oh yeah.
or do you
No,
hold on
I'm
to it?
gonna hang on to it.
Okay. Perfectly fine.
John, do you think I could call in to get a pickup from the conglomerate to get to the tower?
No.
Okay. So then I would go for how much would the sky rail be to get there to the tower?
I mean, you got your horse, don't you? You just ride over there. You're not too far away.
Oh, okay. I just assumed that it was going to take a while by horse
It's
because it
gonna
normally
take.
does.
Yeah, because you're able to ride straight shot. I mean, it's gonna take you about the same time.
Okay, yeah, then I'll ride horse over.
Okay. And then you guys are riding bike. Ren, because you're a little lankier than the lanky dwarf, it is a bit precarious. Go ahead and make an acrobatics check because you're kind of sitting in a basket made for a dwarf and trying to fold yourself into it.
Dwarf basket. 26.
Good enough. The two of you ride out with this weird looking elf on the front of your bike. You kind of leaning around the side of him to see where you're going. And yeah, you make it to the conglomerate tower. Very shortly thereafter, Valletta arrives. Sam, you make it into the library and you begin your research. You stated your 2 objectives. You know full well that it's going to take you several hours to find what you're looking for and get the most information about it. You also know that based on your calculations, as you've been staring at the moon non-stop on the way to the academy, that in about 2 hours there will be a full lunar eclipse of Statia, the moon.
All right, there we go. So just as a note, I probably would just sort of look around for like maybe an hour, see if I could find anything, and if not, then I'm just going to probably head out, call people, and try to regroup somewhere, just because might as well be together for the end.
Sure, I'll cover you in a bit. Who is the first person you'll call?
What, me? Who's the
Yeah.
first person I'd call?
Yeah.
I don't know. Ren.
Okay. So then, Vrac, Valette, and Ren, you make it to the conglomerate tower. You enter into the main chamber. You see the clerks behind the desk, moving about. What do you do?
I would approach them and say, it's the clerk, so Agent X requesting access and assistance in the library.
Of course. Access to the library has been granted, and you would know where to go.
Alright. I head there.
Alright. As you pass through the portal to head that way, the doorway to kind of lead towards the library, nothing happens. Same is true for Ren. But the second Brack passes, you start to hear alarm bells go off, and you start to see enforcers start to move over on your group. Kind of like, you know, when you walk through like a target, you know, like things that just and you don't know why. 'Cause
Yeah.
You didn't steal anything.
I did.
It's that package.
I know exactly why, you bastard.
Oh my god, man.
Is the package?
Yeah.
Oh man.
They move over to you. Halt. You have a unlicensed magical item on your person. Please relinquish it to the clerk if you wish to gain admittance to the library.
My apologies. And I'll pull it out.
They take it, and they take it over to the clerk's desk, and they file it away. You'll be able to reclaim this tomorrow, if you wish, when the Magier is present or a conservator is present to license magical items.
Okay.
Okay. And then you head off to the library, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's not worth fighting.
Okay. And you guys are studying. What are you studying for?
If I can get assistance, since I'm probably not the most scholarly, I would be looking for specifically what Sam had mentioned. Sextor Sul, Umbru, 13.
I would say you aren't getting much assistance um, in that regard. There's not a lot of people up this late, and it seems. Oh, can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah.
We can't.
Yeah.
It seems that you're not getting much in the way of assistance due to the late hour. Not many people are here to assist you, and it does look like you're noticing that a lot of people in like normal positionary, and even the enforcers that came out to greet you when you rang the bells were like second or maybe third tier. Like it doesn't seem like the tower is at its highest capacity. Like people are missing, agents are missing.
Frack, are you better at I think one of us should go check to see why the agents are missing. I'm hoping it's just because of what's going down at the castle, but
You go
seems
check
slightly
in on
odd.
that, and I'll stay here with Red and see what research we can find.
Understood.
Okay, brother.
Ren would say to Villette that you should also research Stasia, the moon.
Well, that's you and I are staying to research. Villette is gonna go run off and see if he can check in with the conglomerate on
Okay.
why there's so few people. So you and I can keep looking for that, and if we have to roll, whatever.
All right.
Do that.
No rules required. You will be spending several hours here, so beyond the hour of the full entirety of the eclipse. Okay. Sam, you exit out of your studying. I'll get back to you here in a second. But before that happens, Gilbert, you make it back home. Your attendant, a bit tired and a bit frazzled, says, "My lord, welcome back. A message was delivered for you urgently. You probably have very little time to reply to it in kind." Hands you a missive.
All
It
right.
appears that the seal upon it is the king's sigil.
Okay.
It seems that the messengers that left the castle obviously delivered you a message. Do you open it?
Yes, immediately.
Lord Kurgosler, you are welcome to enter into Congress with Milady Oltan of the Oltania Rus, the duchy to the west, as she visits with her company at Alderac. Please respond to this message upon completion of reading it before the hour of X, and you realize that you're about 30-40 minutes shy, or over the time that you're supposed to send it back.
I just wish it was earlier. Bling! And it's like 30 minutes earlier.
You don't have a wish.
I know I don't have a wish, but damn. All right, you know what?
The funny thing is, it is 30 minutes earlier. However, the note also changes so
So
that
30
it's
minutes
still 30
Yeah.
minutes over.
You're right. Wouldn't that be great? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna say, all right, dang it, we got to get in there. I'm gonna use this ticket to get in, and I'm gonna go get into that place. And I'm going to start marching back over there. This is either that or it's I don't know what to do at this point. I was just over there. Son of a bitch. All right, I'm gonna call up I'm gonna call up a friend. So I'm gonna phone up Sam, see if he answers his call.
That face.
Yeah, because he knows he's not my friend and I'm not his friend, but I'm gonna call him because I think he would actually answer. So I'll be like, hello, Sam.
I'm assuming that I hear it at this point.
Yep.
What do you want?
I just got a letter saying I could go in to see the king, but it's a half hour late. So, I mean, what do you think? Do you think there's any possibility they let us in? I mean, my knowledge of the court says probably not because it's too late. But I don't know.
Okay, so first of all, you're a nobleman, and you're calling basically a street thug to ask if I think that you can get into the palace.
I crave attention.
Click.
Click. Son of a bitch. You know what? I would have hung up on myself too after that phone call. I gotta try better next time. All right, this time I call. I'll call Valette. I know she has one. See if she answers.
Okay. They're probably on the sky rail at this point, or on horseback at this point. So yeah, you call.
You answer, Valette?
Muted.
Tim, you're muted.
Yeah.
Oh, so this is before we even get to the tower?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I say, Valette, I just got this letter, which would have let me get into to see the king, but it's too late. It says I should have responded with a half hour ago. So, I mean, it's crazy to think I could try to get in, right? I'm just calling you because, you know, it's easy to call. I have nobody else to talk to around here except for people that work for me, so, you know.
And the people in my head.
The people in my head.
Haven't replied.
Gilbert, sadly, I think we missed our chance to gain entrance, but if it may be worth trying anyway, so that we at least have some eyes on the situation.
All right, I'll call you. Keep this line open. I'll call you if I get in. That's just the craziness I needed to nudge me in the wrong direction.
John, do I think that if I get to the tower, I'll be able to get any communications?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. As long as I'm not in the Magier's room, I'm probably good.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, cool. So, and then when we got to the tower, I would also let them know that Gilbert apparently got a way in. He's going to try even though it's late, so that Ren and Rock know about that. And we can all shake our heads that if only we waited at his house a little longer, we could have gotten in and possibly saved Rox.
An entire freaking group of us could have gotten it. Now maybe I should just stay home where it's safe, but no,
Real-
I'm going to go get killed.
Realize what I was trying to say with the messengers.
I'm going to cast Prayer of Healing before I leave my house.
So should we abandon our search in the tower and instead go and join him?
I mean, it's up to you guys. I don't even know
We're
if I'm
not
going to be
that
let in.
far.
I'll call you. I'll call you if I'm allowed in, and then I'll say, you know.
But then we still have to ride after the call. It'd be.
Yeah, true. I mean, the thing is, I don't really know for sure if I'll be let in, so it's kind of a gamble. So, you know, I don't know.
I guess part of it comes down to, like, does Valette think that she would have time to research, like, in my thinking, like, we're going to do research to probably try and stop this thing. Valette really doesn't do much research. Valette doesn't know the timeline of doing research.
And I think now that we've come here and I think now that we've come here and seen how few people there are to help us, because my plan was to just like walk up to someone and be like, we need to find out about these things. But if there aren't that many people to ask that, fuck it, let's go back to the fucking castle.
Yeah, but he said that we could find out everything we want as long as we spend enough time.
How much? He said more time than the Eclipse.
Right.
Is that helpful? More helpful
Your guys'
than
call.
abandoning and riding back. You can vote against me, but that's
I said that before
in
you left,
character
so
point
it's
of
all
view.
late, you know.
Thought
So
there'd be more people here. Where'd they all go?
I think that conversation would be interesting to have. Figuring that out, like we go. It's this whole like time jumble's really off. Whatever.
Let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and set it to right. So you got there, the alert, weapons taken. You're in the thing. Valette was just told to go down and check on stuff. You guys are inside the thing, wondering about whether you should go back and deal with that. No calls come back from Gilbert because he doesn't get it. Everything you try to do, effort-wise, you send the message back, you wait for a reply back, you get no reply back. It seems your window for entering into the castle through official channels is closed. And
Okay, so then we can either stay here and spend too much time searching.
So you spend a little bit of time searching, because you said you spent some
Right.
time. We already covered that. Gilbert, you spend a bit of time racking your head trying to get information about how you could get in. Broxgar, you spend a bit of time stewing in your cell, because that's all you have to do right now. And Sam, you break away from your studies and head up out into the light. as you realize you need to do something besides studying because you haven't found an answer to what this means. You know that this is not the full alignment. This is the first of 3 alignments. You understand in your studies that first the moon will be eclipsed, then the sun will be eclipsed, and then all of the things will come into alignment, and Umbra will have entered into the system to place itself in alignment with the center of the spiral, as you understand it.
And cats and dogs living together.
Very much
no.
so.
Mass hysteria.
I've seen shit that'll turn you white.
What does he think I am?
That's from Ghostbusters.
Right.
Oh,
I
my
know.
heart is broken.
So,
That picture, man,
yeah, notice the axes
I
gone
know.
too.
it was killing me.
I like it.
Anyway, Sam, you see that it's pretty well close to finalized for this eclipse. What would you like to do? I mean, you said you were going to call somebody. You said you're going to try and go and do something. But what would you like to do?
So, yeah, I'll give, I don't know, Ren a call. Just,
Okay. Ren's studying, not getting anywhere, not getting much information, and realizing...
What, Sam? What?
right, so, not sure studying is going to help right now. Eclipse is happening in like an hour. I'm going to go somewhere. Where?
Where are you gonna go? This is a fustercluck at the moment.
I'm not disagreeing. I'm just asking for like input.
Well, I think that the first thing we should do is meet up together. So not only now am I worried about what's going on with Gilbert, but I'm also worried about Brox. I think those of us that we know are 100% should be together at this point.
Yeah, fine. So are we going over to Gilbert's place?
I think we should meet there, yeah.
Ugh,
I know.
fine. But he's not
So-
invited over to my place.
That's right, you don't have to do that. It's okay. Don't worry.
He can't come over. Yeah.
So Ren would tell Vrac the plan and have him call Valette to let Valette know the plan, and we can go from there. Or does Vrac have a
Yeah, I have
thing?
a sending stone that I can communicate with Bullet.
Super.
So I tell her going to Ren or to Gilbert's.
Before that, would I have found out the situation with why there's so few guards?
Yeah,
and, like,
they explained to you that most enforcers and agents are currently rallied around Alderac in measures of cloaked status. And you are made aware that I can't remember the name of the ship. I don't want to look at my notes. Do you remember the name of the sky ship? No? Okay, well, the sky ship that I have the name for somewhere around here. But I
Let's
don't,
call it the Stewie.
I don't know where it is. But that bad boy is currently floating over Alderac. So that's where they all are. Okay. Everybody is moving to Gilbert's house. Gilbert, do you want to waste your time at this point continuing to try and fruitlessly get into it, or are you going to go ahead and start planning out your legal defense of King Broxgar Blaze Hatchet?
Well, yeah, I think I'm gonna give up the idea of being able to get in. So I'll
Okay.
start planning out the defense.
So you'll realize that there's going to be 3 questions of any defense that's or any claimant against Broxgar. Basically, if he is nobility and he can deem that the individual is responsible for a crime worthy of a king's wrath, then you would have to prove 3 things. First off, you'd have to prove his lineage and that he is the king. And that would be done through either a notification of lineage, some artifact of lineage that designates him as that individual, or by common knowledge. At this point, it is common knowledge that he did appear as a royal individual, so you would need to call witnesses. However, because Broxgar's time was mostly spent up in the King's Box, the only witnesses you could think to call would be the ones that were with him there, which would be Vrac, potentially as a witness, the King, which you can't call him as a witness,
Right.
and the High Lord of House Madramic, which is another individual who's probably outside of your ability to call in as a witness. It would be a favor you'd have to ask of that individual.
Okay.
That's one way of doing it. If you have the document that proves his lineage, you think there might be one, but you don't know where it is. Roxgar does.
He left it in his boot.
Who knows? And the last would be an object or artifact that symbolizes the that only the individual of that lineage could have. Basically, a weapon or some form of like iconography that makes them known as the
Oops.
yeah, Lord of that Rings.
All right. Cool.
You really wish you had something like that, something that would have just been
Evil Esperage, perhaps.
handed over to
Yeah.
you, that you would have the first weapon that Durgan in the Black ever made. I just can't wait for you to get a hold of it. It's gonna be so wonderful. But anyways, it's gonna be like closing the loop. It's gonna be so massively wonderful. But obviously, it's obviously gonna be a bit evil, so that's cool too.
Right. Hey, just never fear. I want Broxgar to know that hey, even if we fail and they execute you, we'll still like bury you with that artifact. Just so you know, just to put your mind at ease.
Sounds good.
Don't worry, we got the best lawyers. We'll get the best lawyers, the best men. We got the smartest lawyers. Don't
Okay.
worry.
So you're sitting there planning your defense, writing up as much documentation, trying to send out missives to individuals who can help you in this regard tomorrow. Specifically, your associates who are legally minded. I can't remember which one of the two sidekicks I killed because my notes were all moved around.
I
But
think you killed Dougal?
yeah,
I don't know.
Dougal
I
Brandt
think that's the
died,
one you killed.
and it
Yeah.
was
Dougal.
The other guy was better, actually.
Yeah,
Maybe
but-
in this.
what was his name?
Started with an S.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, it's so long. I do have it written down in several places, but oh well.
That's fine. You'll probably send a message out to him and basically get him to help you in your notation getting the
Oh,
law.
it's Julian Crosswell.
That's right.
Yeah.
Julian. Gain
He
is,
kinda-
you know what? Gain inspiration.
Good, because I might need it in case one of my teammates gets hung or something, and they need a roll, like a
Ooh.
death save.
Look,
Something crazy.
Kevin is weighing in.
What are you planning to do to us, Kevin?
I meant Brox.
Just in case I accidentally get you guys all hung.
I meant Brox. Obvious. You guys will figure. You guys are
Anyway.
gonna make your own stupid mistakes, and before you realize it, it's too late. That's all I'm gonna say.
Anyway,
Right?
the
Right.
the
It'll be
point
too late for it.
kind of comes to it. Sam, everybody, you start making your way to Gilbert's house, and you arrive on the scene just about as the lunar eclipse finally takes its full hold. The moon in the dark sky is bright red in its ring on the outside, and dark red in its center, like a horrible eye staring down at you.
Nice.
Sam, actually everybody present,
Yes.
go ahead, except for Broxgar, of course, locked in himself. Go ahead and make a perception check.
Can he see it through his jail cell?
Wisdom perception.
The number that's low that's a 5 or a 2 if I'm
Well, that's
really
doing
unlucky.
good. Ren, keen eyes, of course. Nailed it.
I'd like to point out my wisdom is literally 0.
25 is actually right on the nose. Everybody else is a failure.
I couldn't even got it.
Failures.
As
We
it
know
sets,
that. We're
as-
failures.
as it sets into its placing, you notice that it's perfectly eclipsed, but it seems that there's a divot at the very, very top of the eclipsing, like a small little bump or like, something connected to the top of it, like almost like a Christmas ornaments like piece at the top that kind of seems to be blocking the moonlight as well. And whatever it is that's blocking the moon, you realize, Sam, that this lunar eclipse is not a lunar eclipse, the Earth eclipsing just the one moon. This is the Earth eclipsing both moons.
It's eclipsing everything.
Like a double rainbow.
Yeah. You enter in.
A double rainbow of death.
You enter into the house, hoping to find some sense of safety, and begin discussing the defense of Broxgar. Meanwhile, cut the scene. This is the closer, guys. Just so you're aware. Inside the Pyramid of Souls, the frame, the bones, the metalwork, the guts, the vitae fluid flows through this chassis. The spectral form of Durin Balcard lays backwards into the pool of fluids and into the framework, this body that's been crafted for it. Its eyes start to glow bright green, filled with arcane energy, vitae, life. Fluids enter in, soaking out from around it like a sponge into the body. It starts to move, quaking at first, shivering, and then slowly pulling itself up. And a voice from somewhere outside of the pool speaks to this artifice. Senator Balcard, welcome back to the material plane. And that's where we'll end the session for tonight.
That can't be good.
Thanks for watching.
Awesome.
Are you sure it can't be good? What if it is?
It'll be great. It'll be great. Stop streaming.